Oh, I think we're live now. I was just checking my phone and suddenly I was like, "Oh my god, the timer ran down." I think I'm live now. I don't know. Okay, so YouTube is about 25 seconds behind me. So I'm not going to do anything until I've kind of got confirmation in the chat that they can hear me. I could turn the webcam on actually. There we go. Might help if I put it on top of the game, mightn't it? There we go. Oh, and it might always help if I turn it around the right way. Good start. Oh. Oh. There. 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 So, I'm currently just trying to see if we can get Marcus' house.
Hey.
Oh, he's
How you
here.
going, buddy?
Oh my god, have you been there the whole time?
I have been listening to you, snooping in on your conversation.
I was like, I wonder if he's actually connected to Discord yet. Okay, he was. If any other YouTubers are about and want to join the Discord chat, then just make yourself known in the live chat, and I'm sure everyone will start, talking about it. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, so let me just organize my life and get all the windows sorted. Probably should have done this during the timer down for the stream to start. I'm gonna go quick drink as well. So, how are you doing, Marcus?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good, mate. And I was going to say, I can't really say anything about organisation of live streams after my one last year.
Out of just in case some of you don't know who you are, do you want to just give a sort of brief overview of who you are?
Sure. I run a really crappy Kerbal Space Program YouTube channel as well. I shouldn't
as
say
well. What are you talking about, my channel?
As well as in Matt has a crap channel, but as well as in I have a Kerbal Space Program YouTube channel as well.
And I'll tell you what, I should probably link that in the description. Marcus' house.
Why, thank you, sir.
There we go. There we go. Marcus' channel. Mic up. Whose microphone is quiet, guys? Is it my mic or Marcus's mic? It could well be Marcus's mic. Hang on.
Okay.
It's almost certainly Marcus's mic. Try that. Say something.
Okay, let's give that a test.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Don't say anything.
Yeah, I had trouble with the same thing because obviously you need to mix the desktop and your own microphone.
Apparently it's my microphone. How does that sound? Both of us were apparently too quiet.
Okay, well I can hear you fine, but of course we're chatting through Discord. No, so I'm not actually listening to the live stream.
Okay.
Because there's a delay and it makes it really difficult to figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, it's I think there's about 20 seconds. Now it's too loud. Whose is loud? Whose microphone is too loud? Speak. Okay, so Matt, speak loud, and Matt. Marcus's mic is a bit low. Yeah, both. Matt, your mic is like I'm just continuously talking now just to see if we can get people. Okay, now it's too loud. Wait, Marcus, say something.
Yeah. I sympathise with trying to set this sort of thing up because I was struggling with it myself the other week, last week actually. It's a bit tricky to try to mix it all together and then have the game volume correct. So hopefully people are hearing me okay now.
I've put in Marcus to the 3/4 of the volume. Now it's a bit loud. No, it's okay. Okay. Look, we're just gonna jump right in to the vehicle assembly. So if any of you follow. Oh yeah, I'll put a Discord link in the description as well. You'd think I would have done this during the 10-minute countdown to oh god, where's it gone? Get link. No, invite people, sorry. Ooh, Discord's gone into streamer mode. Join my Discord. Yeah, on Discord we could even have like a voice channel, so people can watch the live stream together. So you guys, I mean, someone's on Discord in the description, which I think is updated now. There's a voice channel. Someone's already in it called Launchpad. if you guys all want to watch the stream together, then you can. If you guys want to watch the stream together and talk about it, then you can go to the Launchpad voice channel, or indeed any of the channels really. But
I
that's
can
the
see
one.
there's already MS Arc in the Launchpad, so yep. Feel free to go and join him or her.
I could always I could join in. I might jump in the voice chat later, but last time I did a voice chat on my Discord, it was very loud and noisy, which is fine for just general chatting, not so much for live streaming. So I think people are no longer really complaining about the microphone balances or anything. So
No, they seem pretty happy.
we should have a conversation right now just so people can consistently hear both you and I together in case there's any disparity between our microphone levels. I am very jealous of your latest video. Well, not so much the video itself, but the actual thing that you did, which was the Lego Saturn V.
Ah,
I really wanted to get that, but you can't get it anywhere in the UK. The only shop that actually sells it is John Lewis, and every time it comes into stock, it's just snatched up instantly by scalpers, which is a shame.
Yeah, well, actually, it was really quite interesting because I basically ordered it right after it became available, and it took,
just arrived.
It's only like it literally got here 2 weeks ago. You may have noticed it in the live stream, just in the background. I'd only just received it that day, and then I put it together last week. If any, not that I'm trying to plug my own channel, but if anyone actually wants the Lego model out, my latest videos got that there. So a pretty awesome model. I've got it sitting here in front of me. It's towering right up above my head. So
I've heard it's
awesome.
really tall.
Yeah, it's like it's about a meter tall off the table. So yeah, it's crazy. A lot of fun too. I haven't sort of done a lot of Lego stuff apart from with my kids since I was a kid. So it's awesome to be able to be a kid again.
I'm gonna stop you there. I received notification that my Discord has turned to cancer. Let's go to the scene. Okay, I was told this had turned to cancer. I'm in the Discord chat now.
Hello, everybody.
Matt, you
Hey.
made
Hello.
Matt, you
Hello
made a
there.
terrible mistake.
Oh yes.
Okay, I'd love to stay, guys, but I feel like I can't. If I stay in this channel, it's gonna derail the live stream very quickly. But thanks for stopping in on the Discord.
Everybody here is live now.
Okay, I'm gonna disconnect from that. I'm gonna go back to the voice channel between me and Marcus if I can find it again. So Marcus' house. I'm back here.
All right, we're back.
Oh, okay, I right. I think what we should do now is play Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah, that's.
What am I drinking? I'm drinking Lucasade Zero. It's on offer in Tesco right now for £1. So I'm gonna.
And I'm drinking a cup of tea. It's late night, and the coffee is not going to go down well at almost 11 p.m., which is where it is. Which is what it is in Australia.
So if you
I'm interrupting.
No, that's fine. What time is it in Australia?
It's almost 11 p.m.
Well, I think that's time for a drink if I... Okay, so if any of you can see the flag that I've tactfully left on screen right now, we're going to be building the newest Blunderbirds ship, which is going to be going to Tylo, because I saw on Reddit, well, I've now established my series enough that whenever someone posts a stranded ship on Reddit, I get linked to it, so it's really easy now for me to just farm for content. But I wanted to do a Tylo rescue for a while. The last Blunderbirds, well, the last one was rescuing Mark Thrim, but before that it was rescuing from Eve, which I wanted to do for a while because Eve is the hardest place to return from, and so it seemed like a good idea to show people how to do a rescue from Eve. But Tylo is also one of the hardest places. It's the hardest place to land on, and Eve is the hardest place to take off from. So I thought it would be nice if we could, like, when I came up with the Blunderbird series, I really wanted to do an Eve rescue and a Tylo rescue as two of the things. Possibly Moho and Elu as well, because those two places are quite hard to get to. So we're now fulfilling part of the dream by building a Tylo lander. And the guy that's stranded, he was actually tweeted by Kerbal Space Program official's Twitter, and obviously it was on the subreddit. So some of you guys might be familiar with it. I then tweeted out that I was going to rescue them, and then that got retweeted by official Kerbal Space Program. So then maybe some of you might be familiar with this scenario. We're going to be rescuing 2 Kerbals from Tylo. In fact, I could show you. I can show you the lander. I can show you the world. Well, my computer's been pretty slow.
I did see that tweet go out the other day, which you'd accepted there from the... It was the Kerbal Space Program channel that tweeted that, wasn't it?
What was that, sorry?
It was actually the Kerbal Space Program channel that tweeted that message about the rescue, wasn't it?
It is. We follow each other.
It's cool, man.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm actually wearing my official merch can't buy it anymore, but just thought I'd plug that. Oh, that's the wrong quick save file. Where is it? I need to organize. Oh, it's this one, I think. Tylo landing blunder. Because a lot of people, when they send me things, they have mods and things installed that I don't have. Here we go. So these are the guys who are going to be rescuing. It comes from a user who is called KSP Paul. So KSP Paul, if you're watching, maybe I should send him a Reddit message. He could join the chat. We could talk to. Forget it. KSP Paul, send me a Reddit message if this was you, and I'll check intermittently. But there, this is him. He's stranded here. So you can see this Tylo lander has only got 736 meters per second of fuel, but it's got enough thrust to weight ratio. Like, we can easily take off. We just have enough. We don't have enough fuel to land again. So, oh, there we go. So that's the objective. We're going to take off from Tylo. So Tylo, to get to orbit, takes 2,270 meters per second. I have a printout on my wall over there, just for quick reference. So we're very, very short, basically. So ideally, I think engineering some sort of lander with sort of 5,000 delta V would definitely be enough to ensure that we definitely have enough just to land and take off, and also just to faff around getting our encounter with the stranded ship. So that's what we're going to be aiming for in our Tylo lander. I'm just stalling because I'm trying to think of a good design. I haven't really thought any of this through. Oh, that's an interesting glitch.
Tylo's always fun, of course, because yes, it needs probably the most delta V to land on.
That's what I mean. That's why it's like a kind of the other side of the coin to Eve, because Eve's the hardest place to take off from.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Tylo's the hardest place to land on.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. You just need a crap load of delta V, basically. A reasonable amount of thruster weight, too, because you fall out of the sky pretty damn quickly.
Oh, it's insane.
You fall out of space very quickly.
I'm pretty sure it's Hazardish's favourite place in the system. I remember talking to him ages ago, so it could well have changed since then. Okay,
yeah, he
so
loves that place.
We've now been streaming for 23 minutes, and I haven't built anything. So we should probably do that. So let's think. What I'm going to do is, if you look at the pods, like, most Tylo landers people make use these kind of lawn chairs, which I don't really like. I'm not really a fan of doing that because I don't really like the realism of that. When I did my Joule 5 mission, my rocket was a lot bigger than most of the other entrants, because I kind of set a goal for myself of, like, the Kerbals have to be in a command pod of some description, just to satisfy my OCD, I guess, for that. However, obviously, we've got to rescue 2 Kerbals, and I wanted at least 1 Kerbal to go down to, go and meet them and plant our Blunderbird's flag. So, you would think I would be using something like this command pod, the Apollo-style one, or the stock 2-seater one. But these things are insanely out of balance compared to the Mark 1 lander can. Like, this one's 4.12 tons, 2.66 tons for that one, whereas 4 of these is... Like, 4 of the little Mark 1s are lighter than 1 of the Mark 2 ones, and we have obviously twice the capacity for Kerbals. And we're not really clipping them into each other too much, because if you think about kind of the logical layout, and we're probably only sending 1 Kerbal down as well, so I think it's acceptable to clip them into each other. So that's the logic behind doing 4 little cans like this rather than just 1 big can. And in fact, before we plant these down, I'm just going to create some sort of structural sort of truss system going up through the middle.
You're definitely right, though, in regards to the lander can. Like, it is so light compared to pretty much all the other solutions. You can get the, the little crew capsules, which aren't actually the command pods, but they're kind of limited in their
own lawn
way.
chairs, you mean?
Yeah.
See, I don't think I've ever used those, just because I don't really like I say, it just feels like NASA wouldn't. I mean, I know NASA were thinking about doing that for their rescue vehicle for the Apollo missions, but. Yeah, so we're going to just drain the monopropellant because we don't need monopropellant really. And I guess we can just add a little fuel tank at the top, maybe. I haven't thought about the design for this at all. And we'll add a little docking port as well. We don't really need the docking port because the Kerbals can just go on an EVA once we get back to the mothership, but I don't know. I quite like the idea of just docking this thing to the thing, and I guess just to stop this sort of weird glitching effect, what I'll do
You got
is
a lot
I'll
of
just...
people asking you to talk about dead people here in your chat, by the way. Hello, everybody talking about dead people.
It's because in my Behemoth SSTO video, I'm trying to do this thing where I kind of try and tell stories, and like, because KSP is only going to become... I know I've had this conversation with you quite a bit now, but KSP is only going to become less and less popular, and at the moment people just come to my channel for KSP. But I'm hoping with Storytime for Matt, people will actually start coming to my channel for my stories and my commentary, and then I'll be free to move away from this shitty game. No, it's a good game, really. Okay, so there's our kind of basis for the return module. We'll just choose an engine. I like using the aerospike. I know it's not as efficient as it is in, like, the beauty of the aerospike is that it's very efficient in both atmosphere and vacuum. Like, there are more efficient engines for both. Like the Vector, for example, is more efficient in terms of when in an atmosphere, and of course, like the nuclear engine, or even things like the Rhino, are more efficient in a vacuum. But the aerospike strikes a nice medium of being quite efficient, but it's also quite lightweight, and its thrust is pretty good. Like, it has a higher thrust than, like, you know, the T45 and things. So it's quite a good engine for Tylo. At least I quite like using it. I think just to add a little bit of extra oomph, we probably don't need it, to be honest, because the aerospike will probably be enough. But just to be sure, I'll add some peripheral boosters as well. Just a little, where is it? Is it called the Spark? Yeah, the Spark. These aren't very powerful, but they're very efficient, and it's just nice to add a little bit more thrust to our ship. And how much Delta V do we have now? So we have 3,561. So this is a perfect ascent module, really. We have way more. What's that? Give us some love in the Discord, mate. We're all hanging out, waiting for you to reply to our comments in the text channels. I only have 2 monitors, and at the moment I have my whole big monitor. By the way, I just want to check something. Yeah, that's fine. My whole main monitor is dedicated to KSP, obviously, and my other monitor, I've got OBS open, the live dashboard. I can have Discord open, I guess, but I'm interacting more with the not the Steam chat. What's it called? YouTube chat. But I guess I can.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's extremely difficult to try to monitor everything, and of course you're trying to play the game and build something and entertain people while trying to read comments and obviously handle OBS and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it's a real juggling act, I've got to say. I've only tried it once. it's a lot of fun though.
I'll tell you what, I'll do this. I'm gonna make an announcement. Where's the announcement channel? There we go. Whoops, not the welcome channel. Gonna make announcements at everyone. If you want to send me, if you want to use the what we're gonna call lives. Okay, I've made a dedicated text chat for you guys. It's on the Discord. I've made an announcement. You should have been pinged because I tagged everyone in it. I'm just trying to sort of organize my second screen so that I can kind of see everything I need to see. So I've got the chat there. OBS. I guess I don't really need OBS to be that big because I just need to make sure everything's still working. Oh, let's make sure I've got the right channel open. There you go. Where is it? Okay, cool. And then... Okay, good. Right, so now I can see that. I can see that. I can see OBS. Matt, if you're reading this, I love you from Not So Fancy. Cool. Ah, Me6 ranks. Okay, right now. Let's get back to back to the task at hand. I think it'd be worth having some additional... How much batteries these? They've got 50 electric charge. No, we should be good for electric charge, to be honest. I'll just add 1 thermoelectric generator to this, though. Just because solar panels don't really work that well out on Tylo because it's so far from the sun. I mean, they work, but I mean, thermoelectric generators just make things a little bit easier. So yeah, guys, I'm sorry I can't check the Discord chat that often because I am trying to just manage the YouTube chat and the Discord chat, and obviously playing Kerbal Space Program at the same time. So I probably realistically can't reply to all of them, but I'll occasionally just glance over.
Just interesting, one of the comments here from Felix. Felix asking, do you know the Lego Saturn V rocket on one of the designers? Is that the real you, Felix, or is it a imposter Felix? because I just built this thing and I'm very impressed. And if it is the real Felix, bloody great work, mate.
Yeah, shame. I don't really know how we would verify that.
It's very hard to know for sure, but if it's true and that is the real Felix, they've just done a cracker job with the Lego Saturn V. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say tomorrow. I've ordered the I don't know if you know about the UCS Millennium Falcon.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah. Basically, it's always been a thing. I kind of always joked about the original UCS Falcon being like, when I become a millionaire, one of the things I'm going to get is the UCS Falcon, because right now it's like ridiculously expensive to buy that set. But now they've re-released, I'm like, this is my chance to fulfill a lifelong dream, or at least a dream from 2007. So, that's coming tomorrow. Haven't told my girlfriend yet. She has forbidden me from buying it, so it's going to be an interesting conversation. But you know what? It's worth it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of claims saying that it is the real Felix. So that's awesome, mate. Thank you very much for all the work you put into that Lego kit. I did a video on it yesterday. So if you haven't seen,
wait, if that is the real, how do we notice? How do people know it's the real Felix?
Well, we've got no idea. If it is, awesome. If not so awesome.
He does have a Lego man as his profile picture, so that is...
He does. That's validation enough for me.
I mean, his channel has no videos and he's got 14 subscribers.
Yes.
Felix, can you send us any proof that you're real? I don't really know how we would do that, but because usually with YouTubers, I say to them to verify themselves, either just send me a Skype message or a Twitter message, because I have most of them on Skype or Twitter, or just go back to one of your really old videos that has no views and just change the title or something. That's how like when I joined the Kerbal Space Program Discord and things, I just changed the title of one of my videos to be like, yeah, this is me in Discord.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if you've got a good following in Twitter, then a tweet would do it.
I'm just like now watching the stream like a hawk. So what we're gonna do now? So 3,793 Delta V. So we got a pretty nice amount of fuel here. Obviously, we need more than that to actually land on Tylo. So let's get to that. I reckon what we should do is this. If we get... So I'm going to go for some an asparagus setup, because for those that don't know, somehow asparagus is the most efficient way of building crafts in Kerbal Space Program. In fact, could I even do that kind of size? Yeah, I think we can. So let's see. We're going to go... Whoops. So we want the first ones to detach to be these ones here, so we're not occluding the ladder. So we'll set this one up first. So let's see. We'll add some more fuel tanks here. Might even be worth having some more engines just to give us some more slow down thrust. This is probably overkill now, actually. It's been so long since I designed a Tylo lander. Well, I mean, I designed my mainsail to Tylo video, but I feel like that's not really representative of a typical Tylo lander. Well, there was a direct ascent mission, which is one of the harder things you can do with Tylo, so that was got that going for me. But no, I haven't designed a Tylo lander since my Duel 5, I think.
What's your thrust to weight on that at the moment for Tylo? I
have no idea. Let's have a look. 0, apparently, which is always good. This is fine. This is fine. I think I need to update Kerbal Engineer again, but I'm sure what we've got here will be enough. It feels like it will be enough. But we'll do some tests anyway. So we have our asparagus set up here. The idea is that we'll just shed these individual tanks and engines as we descend to really maximize our thrust to weight ratio. I mean, we have an aero spike and we have quite a lot of sparks, so we should easily have enough thrust to weight. If not, we might not have enough at the moment, but as we shed these fuel tanks, we'll gradually get lighter and lighter. Have I missed out one of the tanks? I totally have, haven't I?
You should have a tweet there, Matt.
Oh, from whom? Felix?
From Felix.
Oh, that might have been the sound my phone just made. Hang on. Let's just quickly strap on this fuel thing. Oh. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Oh, I have a tweet. I have 2 new interactions. And Twitter's not working on my phone. Right, let's time out of KSP. Let's just abandon the game once again. Here we go. I wonder if KSP Paul messaged me on it, Reddit. No, he didn't. KSP Paul, I'm designing the thing to rescue your Kerbals. So... let's have a look. No, yeah, I accept. Talk amongst yourselves for a bit whilst I just read through this.
There's a couple of his. Who is the guy that Matt's talking to? Who am I?
Who are you?
I am Marcus House. I have a Kerbal Space Program channel as well, if you haven't heard of me.
Wow, I'm just looking at the things on the Lego Ideas page, and there's some really nice ones. There's a Thunderbird too. So, how do I know that doesn't really hit?
Also doesn't help.
It doesn't really help though, because like, it's just a link to her Twitter profile, but it's not verified or anything. And if you are real, thanks, thank you for hanging out. Like I say, I probably will get the Saturn V at some point, but right now, currently, currently I'm pushing my luck having my Lego Ferrari. Can I get my full? How do I get my full webcam up? Add video capture device. Add existing. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's just make that a little bit bigger. Beautiful. I'm already pushing my luck with this Ferrari. I love this set, by the way. It's like the only set I've got in like recent. There's a massive hair on it. Yeah, look at that Ferrari. It's beautiful. I modified it to be right-hand drive as well because I'm like in the UK. But it's really detailed. You've got like adjustable seats, adjustable steering wheel over there. If you can see that. Oh, you can't really see it, but look at that. Beautiful. You can actually even take the engine out and things as well. I won't do that on live stream, but yeah, I love that set. And it's quite cheap as well for what it was. I think in the UK it's about 70 quid, which is not bad for a set with that many pieces. I think it was like 1,500 parts.
Okay.
Which for £70 is pretty cheap, especially given the monstrous cost of the Millennium Falcon. Though actually when you break it down, it's not actually that much more expensive per brick. Especially given the amount Disney would likely charge for the licensing. Okay. Let's get back to what the stream is actually about then. So we're going to just go back to here. Add the last few things. Let's see. That one detaches, then this one detaches, then these two detach, then those ones detach. Kill! And obviously all the engines fire. Then the thrust weight ratio is 0.86, which is not great. But as we descend, that will increase. So this should be a good test. We'll start extended. Nothing we've missed that I can see. I think for the purposes of testing, I might just add a probe core, just because our route isn't the command pod, sorry. So the game will keep on forgetting to add crew members. So if we use the probe, and then if I destroy it on a test and didn't save properly, then it's not a great loss. Okay, here we are on the launch pad. So let's just quickly warp ourselves to Tylo. So we'll be coming down from quite an orbit that would be much higher than, you know, what it would be. But I mean, if it works from this height, then it should theoretically work from like the actual height. So let's see. Fire up the engines. Let me know if the game volume is too loud or too quiet, by the way. And the great thing is about having engines on all the side tanks is that we can just see when it's depleting rather than having to open up the fuel tank using the right-click menu, which would look ugly in a video. There we go. So this is going beautifully. And what am I doing, actually? I've just been sitting here watching, and this has been a horribly inefficient way of descending. I may need to revert this flight. Whatever. Let's just see if we can wing it. I've probably left this way too late now, but well, whatever. I think I have left it way too late. Whoops! Probably going to crash and die now, but Yeah, we'll just revert flight. Which is fine, because I can actually do... This is the little trick I do when I'm testing Tylo and Eve landers, which require lots and lots of attempts. And obviously you won't be able to revert the flight after a while, or after the first quick save. So what I do is I just create a new quick save, and just call it revert. And then we can just quick load that. And now we can just... Game volume is good. Cool. As in, can you guys hear the game volume? Because it's on like the lowest setting, because Kerbal Space Program is one of those games that is really obnoxiously loud. Why aren't we pointing retrograde yet? Okay, there we go. There we go. You been to Tylo, Marcus?
Yeah, no, I've done a couple of missions to Tylo. I did, it would have been quite a few months ago that I did my last one. But yeah, I think I'm just trying to remember what I did myself. I think I had sort of an asparagus stage kind of set up with.
I think that's definitely the way to go. I mean, this is quite a lot bigger than my last Tylo lander. Was just a one-seat thing. It was part of my Dual 5 mission, so it didn't have any science equipment or anything on it. It was literally just a seat with a few engines on it. But that was pretty compact. Apparently it inspired lots of other people's designs, which is always nice to hear. Obviously then there was my main sailed Tylo mission, which was not a practical lander at all, and it was ridiculous and stupid. Had a very good thrust-weight ratio though for Tylo, but I don't really count that as a real practical mission. So this is kind of my first attempt at a quote-unquote bigger Tylo lander. And the great thing is, if anyone chooses to download the craft file from the finished thing, I started decelerating way too soon, didn't I? If anyone wants to download the craft file from the finished thing, you could just remove a couple of the command pods and stick some science units on there. Oh, General Echo sent me £5 in the super chat. Yeah, thanks, General Echo.
That's cool. That is cool. Yeah, I'm just having a look at my... So I was right in that it was quite a few months ago. I was back in May, and I had just Terriers at the bottom, and that was enough. Actually, I was surprised that it was enough to thrust away to actually take off from Tylo.
Yeah, it probably is. It probably is. This is just me, like, I haven't put any thought into this design. This is just me just winging it. Pun intended.
Yeah, well, I mean the engines you've got selected there are they're pretty ideal for the job, I think.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really know. I probably should have looked at other people's landers before attempting this. This is just me deciding this is probably going to be fine. We'll just go with this. So it could be horrifically overkill. But this is kind of the longest part of the process, is just landing it over and over again until we can actually do it. Again, we've left it too late. So what time did I start decelerating last time? Like 40,000? I don't even remember. Was the chat caught up? I was burning at 39, but I'd run out of fuel then, so I must have started. Yeah, Strats and Blitz, is he in the chat? I have him on Skype. We've spoken on Skype before. Strats and Blitz, or indeed any other YouTuber, if you're in the chat, just write another message and I'll keep a closer eye on it than I was previously.
Yeah, I can't see him online at the moment. I've got him on Skype as well. I can't see him.
So what would
start? Beardy Penguin's kicking around though.
Who? Sorry?
Beardy Penguin's online.
Beardy Penguin's there. Love that guy. Wait, is he? I helped design his avatar.
He's on Skype, but I haven't seen him pop up in the chat at all.
Oh, well, he is. I helped design his... Oops. Helped design his avatar. I said, your avatar looks creepy. Change his beard to brown. And then I changed it for him. That was it.
I must admit, the Aerospike is an engine I basically never use, so I don't have a lot of experience with it. But it seems to be doing a decent job.
It's pretty... It used to be the engine of choice for Eve, but nowadays the Vector tends to be the one I go for. Just because of the massive gimbals. It's a dream for making rockets more controllable. And also just because it is more efficient at sea level.
Yeah. The aerodynamics on Eve just are totally difficult.
I have a very love-hate relationship with Eve. On the one hand, I hate it because it's so difficult. I'm just like, please, can I just have my rockets work for once? But then at the same time, I do like the challenge. I like the challenge of it.
The heat shielding is just like you've got the choice of trying to cram a crap load of the other smaller regular heat shields on, or you got to use those useless inflatable heat shields. And those they are just the worst thing for any sort of atmospheric entry. I mean, you may as well pop them up the top of the vessel and use them as a drogue chute more than anything, because they are going to flip you.
I know. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I did an Expedition Eve. Was I would put like a drogue chute on the top of the stack, and that would just kind of add function as like I say, like a drogue chute. And that's really the way, I think. So that we nearly got it. I just kind of started burning at the wrong time. So let's see. What did we start burning from? 70. But then I did stop burning a little bit. So we'll try 68,000. We'll start burning from then. There we go. So this should be it now. We should manage this. We should have this, guys.
And yes, Felix, I've just read your message and replied. Thank you.
What did it say?
They just shot me a message just with some more information about the Lego Saturn V.
Like I say, if they'd actually provided adequate supply for the UK, I would have bought one. I wanted to buy one day one, but they just... No shops have it. Like Toys R Us, which is the one near me, we don't have it. And there's no John Lewis in Plymouth. There's no way I can get it.
Basically, I had to order it, and like I say, I ordered it pretty much from the US the day after it was announced it was coming out, and I still had to wait for a month before it started shipping. So yeah, it's all sold out as far as I can see everywhere right now. So
yeah,
it's a big hit.
I hate eBay scalpers, man. Okay, so it's hard to judge. What was our impact time? 30 seconds to impact.
I must admit I did a lot of practice runs trying to land on Tylo when I was doing the video months back, and I was generally finding the best way for me to land it was to come in at a super low altitude and basically just skim along the surface while...
Oh, that's definitely the way to do it. I've messed this up, haven't I?
It's a dangerous way to do it, and you have many accidents. Because you've got to get it pretty much exactly right. From an efficiency point of view, it's pretty awesome trying to do it that way.
So our electric charge is pretty good. There's no worries there. We'll just continue burning at sort of half thrust. In fact, probably need a little bit more than that. Whoops! I just realised we're not pointing retrograde anymore. Come on! Probably shouldn't be time warping anymore. Can make a quick save here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This could be hairy.
we nearly got it. Spoiler alert, Marcus. I know you're probably still watching the live stream where you're a little bit behind.
Well,
I nearly...
That's right.
The aerospike survived. Well, as in, like, the aerospike stage survived. So, here we go.
Just an interesting thing to mention to the audience, because I'm watching the live stream without audio, but I'm talking live with Matt. So I can't actually see anything happening for, like, 30 seconds or so. So
yeah, it's
I'm usually behind the outbowl.
For those that don't know... on YouTube live streaming, you can do either high quality stream, but there'll be a big delay, which is great for this sort of thing where you're just watching gameplay. But if you want to have a bit more of an interactive stream, you can set the latency to be lower, but the actual quality will be a lot lower. So my internet's not great, so that was the medium I went with. Like, there'll be a big delay between the chat and me, but you guys get to see higher quality footage. Oh, and there we go. Touched down with over 3,000 meters per second of delta V remaining.
Nice
so
work.
More than enough to get back into orbit. We can just go ahead and make sure that our EVA works. Oh, we don't have a Kerbal on board, do we? Well, never mind. We'll just take off again. So let's see. So we're going to be flying up 90 degrees on the nav ball. I mean, not, literally pointing 90 degrees up. Because Tylo's got an atmosphere, we can basically start flying flat almost immediately. We're just keeping an eye if you can see these things at the top. Time to apoapsis, just make sure we don't accidentally pass our apoapsis during our ascent. And we'll just retract these ladders.
Got Miniman02 asking why Matt don't you use Twitch? And it's probably the same reason that I don't use Twitch, because we've got no audience on Twitch.
That's the I mean, I do have a Twitch channel, to be fair, and I have streamed on Twitch before, but I always find it's just way. I didn't like it as much. Like, it was much harder to moderate the chat. I think it probably is a better streaming platform if I took the time to actually invest in it. But the thing is, I understand YouTube and I know how YouTube works. And obviously, like Marcus says, I have a following on YouTube. I have a small following on Twitch from the 2 streams I've done, but obviously it's nowhere near nothing. It's nothing compared to. What was I about to say? YouTube. I haven't missed any super chats, by the way. I feel like I would feel really bad if I missed a super chat. So if anyone sends me a super chat and I didn't mention it, General Echo will send me a message on Discord, maybe. General Echo, yeah.
I'm keeping a reasonably close eye on as well. I've only seen the one from General Echo earlier.
Okay, that's fair enough then.
But yeah, given the state of YouTube that seems to be wanting to just kill gaming channels at the moment.
Oh yeah, my views are just in.
Seems to be Super Chat seems to be a good option if you can get some funding that way. But it's one of those things I still don't really understand exactly what's going on, because the Kerbal Space Program audience, I don't think would have dropped that sharply like what we've seen the last couple of months. I think it's
especially with PewDiePie calling that guy a nigger on live stream. You just think, why would you do that? I know I'm probably treading on eggshells quoting him. I mean, like, when it's a direct quote, it's fine, right? It's the intent behind it. I don't get who jumps to that as a thing. Like, I can understand any kind of swear word, really, even things like faggot, which is a horrible word, and I would never use it. But I could at least understand, like, especially for Americans, the context is becoming less and less about homophobia, and more about just generally, you're an idiot. I still think it's a disgusting word, and I don't use it myself, but I'd understand it. But the N word?
Yeah.
Who jumps to that? I can't understand myself. I can't see myself ever just jumping to that.
It just doesn't make a great deal of sense. I mean, I
mean, he clearly must use it a lot in casual conversation if it just comes to his mind that easily and quickly, which is
that's what you'd have to
says a lot about him.
Because that's it. I mean, you can't accidentally say it if it's not in your general sort of
I don't think I've ever used it really, unless I'm singing along to a Snoop Dogg song. And even then, it's in the comfort of my home behind locked doors and making sure everyone in the immediate vicinity is cleared. Then I'll mumble it. But yeah, well, there we go. I think that's a pretty successful Tylo lander, to be honest. It seems to work quite well.
How much that's you got left there now?
The first part of this video, stream done. So what I'm going to do, I need the toilet. I shouldn't have drunk all that Lucasade. So we're going to take a quick break. I'll hand the reins to Marcus. For those of you that are using ad block, you bastards. But we'll play an ad, and then by the time the ad's done, I should be back. But I've no idea how long the ads are. I haven't checked who's won the bids on my ad so far. So let's see. We'll find the intermission thing, not that one. Whoops. No. Stop. Turn off. There we go. Intermission. Nope. There we go. All right. I'll be back in a second. Worry not, I'm back. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, I'm nice and refreshed. Get on my fingerless gaming gloves again that I got in a loot crate from lootcrate.com/Matt. Get 10% off today. I think I've still got that code. I don't know, maybe. Either way, it's a nice service if my contract has been terminated. And Marcus, you still there?
I am still here. I was wondering how long it was going to take a loot crate mention to come up, actually.
Well, you know, it's a guarantee on my streams at some point. Those bills ain't going to pay themselves, guys. Lucas said, if you'd like to sponsor me as well, please do let me know.
Why, thank you, crew of Astros.
I didn't miss a super chat or anything, did I?
No, I didn't spot anything coming
It means a
through
lot when people do that. I don't want to like someone to actually give me actual money for some reason, and then I don't actually, you know, acknowledge it. Right.
What can't I say? Oh, because I've paused my live stream. That's why I can't say anything. Yep.
Okay, right. So let's see. So we've designed the Tylo lander. So this
I know
is
that's
it.
you, Matthew the Fury.
I think it's Matthew the Furry, isn't it? Have I just been? I recognise
furry.
it.
No,
it's the furry. I was like, have I just assumed he was a furry this whole time? Okay.
Furious furry.
So we don't need the command pod anymore, so we're saving a little bit of weight there. So now we have a completely overkill Tylo lander, which is going to be enough for us to actually... I like to over-engineer my rescue crafts because I spend a lot of time faffing around getting our trajectory to be somewhat near the rescue craft, and I ended up doing a really inefficient landing as a result of that.
There's a super chat for you,
Wandering Dreamer has sent me $10 so you can butter pizza or something food realted. Thank you, Wandering the Dreamer. Can I add a little? Oh god, I nearly blocked him. I was going to see if I could add a little reaction emoji, but I think you can only do that on Discord, can't you? Well, thank you, Wandering Dreamer. I appreciate that. I do. I don't know how I can say this without sounding really sarcastic, but I do appreciate it a lot.
Look, that sort of thing's an awesome help for any YouTuber. So yes, that's always appreciated.
It is. My mum has just texted me. I'm sorry, guys. This is important. I'm also just thinking in my head about the best way of designing this thing. Oh my god. I've tried using a different texting app and I don't like it. I think I might just change back.
And another one, Matt.
What?
Another one.
Chief NX97. Hang on. I accidentally just closed my live stream dashboard in an attempt to maximize it. I'm such an idiot. Hang on.
What champions? You guys are awesome.
Hang on. I don't want to do a disservice by not having it open. Let me just sort my life out again. It's okay. I think I've got everything back on track. Let me just close that. Sorry, technical difficulties, everyone. I'm just live dashboard back, OBS, then Discord there. Okay, I can still see the super chat, so I'm gonna now acknowledge it probably. I have a chat. Oh, he's got a challenge. He's got a challenge. Come on, OBS, where have you gone? There we go. I have a challenge for you. If you get bored of saving Kerbals from Tylo, try and get 2 Kerbals to lathe them back for less than 10,000 funds. I've probably already done that in the form of an SSTO mission because SSTOs are definitely the cheapest way of doing it. So I might point you in the direction of my Junior Attacks episode ages ago now, where I sent an SSTO to lathe. At the time, it was one of the first SSTOs to lathe on YouTube. In fact, no, that's a lie. The first one was the Argus 2. There was, in terms of lathe SSTOs on YouTube, Turbo Pumped, I think, had the first one on YouTube. And then I had the second one, which was like a bigger one. So therefore, mine was obviously better. Not really. Turbo Pumped, I missed you.
I'm running some numbers here at the moment. just running some numbers here at the moment. To do that, you would as far as I can see, you'd really need to at least refuel yourself when you come back and land. You'd have to make a vessel that was pretty much completely reusable and refuel yourself on the launch pad before recovering the vessel. I think 10,000 isn't a lot to. It's got to be pretty much entirely reusable. The fuel it costs.
I'm sure you could do it with an SSTO though, because it's only the cost of the fuel then, and it was a Phantom SSTO. So really, it had one nuclear engine. I mean, that's all irrelevant because those will get recovered, and it didn't really have that much fuel for what it was. So I'm sure I must have done that. I've definitely done a MUN SSTO that used less than 10,000 funds, and it wasn't that much smaller than the Lathe one. So I reckon I've probably done that already. Either way, don't want to detract from the generous donation of $10. So thank you very much. I'm just trying to think of the best. I mean, it has to be the nuclear engines, right? So let's see. We're going to have 2 Kerbals rescued anyway. So I think what we'll do is we'll have an Apollo-style command pod. Plus, like, a lander there. And that can just have all of them. So let's see. Thermal. Oh! Hang on. Just going to quickly. We have another donation.
I don't know what that's worth.
Not.
I've got to do some currency conversion there.
Oh, could you do that for me? You can just be my secretary on this, but he's donated.
No worries, I got your back.
He's donated 100 NOK 100 NOKs. Is that North Korea? Do you think? NOK. NOK. What is that?
Norwegian.
That's probably more sense than North Korea, isn't it?
It's about almost $13, Matt.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you. What was his name? Baxter. I probably mispronounced that. But thank you. That's very generous of you. Gosh, I should live stream more often, shouldn't I?
Yeah. Seems to be the thing to do. And I just for reference, I have been to Norway once for about 2 days.
Have you?
And it was in the middle of winter, and it was damn cold and dark most of the time. So I'd really love to go back, but I'd love to go back, obviously, at the opposite side of the year, so that you can see things. Would be nice. But yeah, so it was a whirlwind business trip that I was up there.
Oh, there we go. Have to let me know if you're ever in Plymouth in the UK. By the way, Matthew the Furry.
I had to have a stopover. I had to have a stopover in the UK, and I was there for literally about 4 hours. And I ran around.
Nice.
I ran around the sort of centre of the city. I think I'm trying to remember exactly what I got. But I had 4 hours to jump around, get back on a flight, and take back off again, which was me heading off to Norway.
Well, there we go. Matthew the Furry, by the way, yes, I am looking at the Discord messages every so often, but there's nothing that I can really directly reply to, so I've kind of not been directly acknowledging it, but I am occasionally glancing over, though I am prioritizing the YouTube chat, which seems to have disappeared off my screen again. But no, I am seeing both chats, so let's see. So we're just going to strut this. I know we can use auto strut now, but sometimes auto strut just causes like a Kraken attack and destroys the ship. So I try and avoid using it when it's not necessary. Whoops, just tabbed out the game. Okay. Should be pretty good. It's going to be a bit overkill now to add drogue shoots as well, but whatever. There we go. So we're just going to quickly sort out my staging, which is all horribly gone wrong. That's all good. Okay. So that's the basics of Tylo's. The Tylo. I mean, I don't really like how wide it is, but whatever. Let's see. So we'll add a decoupler here. Now what I like to do, because I hate this decoupler, it's stupid. I've told Squad so many times that it needs fixing and they never do. But whatever. Maybe one day they will. But it's quite nice in the sense that you can just hide stuff inside it. So there we go. A couple of RTGs. We don't need solar panels. Although I do still quite like having solar panels because I think they look pretty.
Super chat, Matt.
Oh! Hang on. I have to win this fight with this RTG first of all. I will look at the super chat. Hang on. How do I grab the RTG? I just want to give the super chat my full attention, and this is going to be on the back of my mind if I don't sort it now. Beautiful. All right, super chat. Let's see. Janik Rubitschung. Hi, Matt. Can you get to the moon with separatrons? I used to think they were spelled like that as well. Separatrons. It's separatrons, apparently. I've kind of already done that. I've done an SRB only mission to the moon. That was one of my first videos I ever made. I think it was like the second or third video actually I'd ever made. So quite an old one. I've actually want to kind of do a similar thing, but the exact opposite of what you suggested, which is SRB to moon, but no separatrons. Which like separatrons make that mission really easy. Well, it's still difficult, but comparatively they make it a lot easier. So that's something I'd like to do at some point. But that's all for the future, I suppose. But yeah, I think when I did that video, there were no, what are they called, flea boot, the very, very small solid rocket boosters. Those weren't in the game when I did it, and I think the presence of those have made the challenge a lot easier. So like I want to have a few nuclear engines because, let's see. Want to have a reasonably good thrust to weight ratio. That should be fine. How much delta V is in this stage now? I usually just sort of look at it and that's probably enough fuel and never actually bother calculating whether or not it is.
I do wish they would give us some more options for damn liquid fuel tanks. Just plain liquid fuel tanks.
Well, it's the obvious solution, and I don't know why it's not been implemented yet, is just to be able to switch the contents of tanks.
Yeah, that's it. Just like the mod. That,
it's just
I've got
it would be
installed.
so easy to implement. I don't know why they don't. Well, I think it's because they just want to make DLC now. But
yeah, so I mean, I still haven't heard a lot about the new DLC. I know that it's supposed to have a lot of great content in it, but still quite a ways off, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I've been given information that I can't share, but it's a while off. But I don't know. Sometimes I wish, like, guys, there are things in the game that need fixing. Can we just work on that first? Whatever, though. I like the staff I've spoken to at Squad are they're all lovely people. Most of them have left now, though, which is sad. Whoops. I should get this sorted. So what are you up to today, Marcus? You at work tomorrow?
I am at work tomorrow. Today, I've actually had a very lazy day. Yesterday, I had an interesting day. Went to a renewable energy convention, which sounds incredibly boring, but it was actually extremely interesting. There was a Tesla Model X there, which I was mucking around with for quite some time, and a few other electric vehicles. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun.
I thought you worked in...
and just did some other stuff, yeah.
I thought you worked in, like, software.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I'm a web developer, basically, so I'll be doing that tomorrow. But, yeah, yesterday being Saturday, I had the day off and just went to a local renewable energy convention.
Wow. Fair enough. Okay, so let's see. I'd say that's... I mean, we should have more than enough fuel in this stage. I will calculate the delta V, and it might be massively overkill. Whatever, I prefer... Oops. People who are familiar with my videos, which I'm guessing is everyone in the chat, but for those of you who aren't, I like to sort of over-engineer my vessels because... Like, I do my fair share of efficient modules as well, so I feel like I don't need to prove anything when it comes to designing. Like, I've clearly demonstrated I can fly things efficiently when I need to. But sometimes I think it's more fun to just not have to worry about efficiency per se. Like, obviously, you'd still have to worry about it. But it's nice to be able to fly a rocket, and if you have to make correction burns, you have to worry about how it's going to affect your fuel budget and things like that. So... I do like building designs that are reasonably overkill, especially for blunderbirds, in which I often do quite a lot of correction maneuvers to make sure I'm going to be intersecting the stranded vessel. I haven't missed any super chat, by the way. I haven't watched the chat for a while.
No, I've been keeping a good eye on it.
Cool.
But you're right, though. I mean, it doesn't make a great deal of sense to always be super efficient because then people out there can't actually...
That's the thing I was going to say. It makes it harder to recreate the mission as well.
And, we like to put, both of us like to put up the crafts and that sort of thing, so people can just take them for a fly and modify them. And look, it's no fun if you have to spend 10 hours doing gravity assist just trying to get one of our vessels to work. I mean, I tend to over-engineer mine as well. And like you say, you've shown plenty of times that you're capable of doing about 20 gravity assists to get somewhere crazy with an SSTO. So it's not like you can't do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people ask for a tutorial about my. I don't know if you ever saw it, but I made a video which was an SSTO that went to Elu and it went to Lathe in the same mission. And people were asking for tutorials about it. Like, that mission was very hard, and I feel like if you need a tutorial for doing it, it's not the sort of thing you should try and be attempting, really. So
and actually, what I find, I don't know if this is the same for you, but what I find is the more efficient that I make a mission and the more impressive in terms of its efficiency, the less people want to interact with it because it's all just too hard. And,
yeah, I get that a lot from my bigger SSTOs. I get a lot of that as well. Okay, let's see. Might be worth it asparagusing this. So I'm just concentrating. Oh, John Hawley has sent a super chat. $2. Thank you very much, John Hawley. And he's asking, any chance for a Planet Coaster stream? That is something I would like to do. I do like Planet Coaster. I haven't played it in a very long time. Like Mirror Lake, I completed months and months and months ago. So they've added lots and lots of stuff since then. So I probably want to just get a bit more familiar with the game again before I live streamed that. But Planet Coaster, I'm a lot slower. Like the videos make it look like I build things quite quickly, but I really don't. I think Mirror Lake was the result of about 25 hours worth of building. Which might not be that entertaining to watch that whole thing on a live stream. But no, I'll definitely give it some thought. I would like to stream other games. What I generally do is I'll stream KSP and then I'll watch and then I'll play another game after I've streamed KSP, and the viewers always plummet, but whatever. Yeah. But no, I would like to stream it basically.
And for everyone, I've noticed this a few times actually now, everyone's like, you're not checking Super Chat. Just remember, guys, there is probably around 30 seconds delay between our voiceover and when you will see it coming through in the feed. So
I don't want to say deliberate, because obviously in an ideal world there would be no delay. But when you stream on YouTube, you have to choose between either a high quality video, but there's a delay between you and the chat, or lower quality video, and the chat's almost instantaneous. So kind of if I was doing a Q&A, for example, I would do the second option. But for the purposes of gameplay, I think it's more appropriate to use the sort of, there's a longer delay, but you get a higher quality feed, if that makes sense. Okay, so that should be good, actually, for a transfer stage. I feel like there's enough fuel on there. I'm just going to clip these in a bit more just to improve the aesthetics. There we go, just make sure. Go drain all that oxidizer there. I'd say that's pretty good. I think I missed anything. Maybe just... We don't need monopropellant really, but just for the purposes of having some realism, I guess we can add some monopropellant thrusters.
A few questions here. Matt asking what you think about Cassini on there, specifically from Moto Junkie.
Yeah, on my on my Mum Machine video, people were like saying, "Oh, I'm surprised you didn't talk about Cassini things," but like I like Kerbal Space Program, but I don't actually know that much about real space travel. I feel like I don't really have many valid opinions stuff on it. But yeah, it was kind of sad to see it go. One of my favorite things about it were the images of like Saturn's hexagon. I don't know if you knew this, but the pole of Saturn, it's got a hexagonal storm at the top.
It's awesome, some of that footage of that. It really is. It's bizarre, and it's one of those things that I don't believe anyone's been able to explain. I
think they have a leading theory. Someone like Scott Manny would probably be a good asset to have here to tell us. But yeah, they have a leading theory, and they have actually managed to recreate it in the laboratory, although I think that was actually found to be not the case for how Saturn's is created. But there are theories about how it works. But it's still cool just to see, because it looks bizarre.
It is super bizarre. But I don't know if for anybody that follows Mark Thrim. Oh, you've just had a super chat.
I was going to mention it, but I thought I would let you finish talking first. But thank you to Jacob Shapiro for the $2. Papa Matt, when will you make another story video? I will make another story video at some point. I was going to do it for the Mun Machine one, but that video was quite short anyway. and there were things I wanted to talk about in that video. But I guess for the Tylo, actually no, maybe for Blunderbirds, I kind of like them to also be a bit more of a tutorial style, like not full on tutorial mode, but just kind of going through the basics, because at the end of it is me rescuing another player, and so if people can learn from it along the way, then that would be a nice thing to have as well. But yeah, I will do another story time at some point. Sorry, Marcus, I interrupted you.
No, all I was going to say was if anybody's subscribed to Mark Thrim, he did a nice little, I think it was about a 5-minute video. He did a nice little 5-minute video, farewell to Cassini, which went up last. It was really quite cool, actually, what he did. I don't actually know what he did it with. It wasn't Kerbal Space Program. It was something else.
Was it Stable Orbit? I feel like I might have missed this video completely. I don't remember seeing this at all.
No, it wasn't Stable Orbit. Yeah, no, it was only dropped less than 24 hours ago, I believe, or about 24 hours ago. I've
been away for the past couple of days, so I've only just got back.
Super chat, Mr. Mookow 2012.
Mr. Mookow 2012. I think he has a YouTube channel, in fact. He asked me for some advice on Discord, but I think he's trying to start making YouTube videos. He's like a brand new channel though, so. But that's him.
Very generous there, mate.
Just add some light. We don't really need lights, but just for the sake of a YouTube video, we're not trying to. You've probably found as well, but YouTube just makes the videos really dark.
Oh yeah, super horrible. In fact, the quality that I look at before I upload, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be really nice, and then it goes up and it's just grainy as hell.
I was going to ask, actually, I don't know if this is something I can really ask publicly. I was going to ask you to send you a private message or something, but what happened to was it Call of the Kraken?
Yeah, well, I did the first. I had so much trouble with a lot of the mods that I was using for that, and to be honest, the video just didn't do very well. It took me like a month to make it, and it just didn't really do very well. So I was going to do another episode like pre-Christmas, but I don't know. I'm kind of second guessing it now.
Nah, I'm sure. I mean, like Expedition Eve never pulled that many views, but I kind of made Expedition Eve. I knew would not be a success. Like Juno Attacks was just very successful for me, and Juno. I knew going forward Expedition Eve would not do as well because Juno Attacks was like obviously more cheesy and action packed, and also a bit more tongue in cheek and things like that. And I wanted to try and make something actually sort of like along the lines that Nassault would have made back in the days when Nassault made videos. And kind of more cinematic and more, just from like an actual movie sort of telling standpoint. Even though I knew it wouldn't do as well, I just kind of wanted to do it for me. The mindset going forward for Expedition Evil was just going to be, this is a film that's made in Kerbal Space Program. Juno Attacks was more what I would perceive to be, Miles Harrison has sent me £10, by the way. You should do some Children of the Dead Earth videos. I created this channeler to do this. I hate parental controls. And also, have you heard about The Light Sail 2? I've not heard either of those things, but I will write that down. Children of the Dead Earth.
I've seen a little bit of Children of the Dead Earth. It does look pretty awesome, actually.
Children
yeah, it looks pretty awesome.
Of the Dead Earth. There we go. With my newly nibbed fountain pen. Yeah, what was I saying? So Juno Attacks was kind of like, I don't know if you know about Minecraft single player or Minecraft story mode, but it was basically just a game where they added like story to it, or like the adventure maps that like the Yogscast would do and things. It was kind of like a story that people had built into the game. That's kind of what I perceived, like Juno Attacks would have been my idea of a potential KSP story mode, like providing context for missions, and it has like NPCs and threats to it, but ultimately it's still the same game, but like this chat. That's kind of, I don't know if that made sense, but that's the mindset I went into coming up with Juno Attacks. And obviously it blossomed since then into what it is today.
The Children of a Dead Earth game it looks quite like it's got a lot of orbital mechanics sort of stuff in it. So it's probably one of the more similar to KSP that I've kind of seen. I haven't actually played it, so I don't know much about it.
Oh, see, I just, from the name alone, I just assumed it sounded like some sort of like indie game.
Yeah, it's kind of like a space warfare type simulator, as far as I can sort of understand. But there's sort of orbital mechanics stuff in it. You have to sort of set orbits up to encounter the things that you're trying to attack and whatnot. But it looks very cool. And I thought also, I just thought I'd mention a comment there from Matthew Shaw. This is actually going back a little ways up the thread now, but just saying, I really want to support loads of YouTubers, but don't have the funds for super chat or Patreon and whatnot.
Oh
and
yeah,
look,
that's go on.
It's extremely important for people to understand that if those people would like to donate, that's great. But I mean, the best thing that you guys can do is watch the content. Watch time is number one in YouTube algorithms and whatnot, and just supporting the channel, sharing videos. I mean, if you guys can do that, that's awesome.
That's great, Marcus. I disagree. If you can't send me money, I don't want you here. Generally, I want you to ban everyone that's not donated. They're a waste of time. But thank you, Corbin Demand, for the $2 donation. Have my money, lol. There's not really much I can say to that, but the donation is appreciated. Obviously, what I just said was sarcasm, by the way, about the donation. I know some people are just going to get furious from that now. But yeah, no, like Marcus says, that's why I do kind of have Patreon rewards, and that I send people VIP cards if you donate to like the highest or second highest standard. I actually post it out. Otherwise, I just send you like an image of the thing with like your name on it and things. And I do like a monthly newsletter, in which I just it's like a blog almost, just for Patreons. But I don't like to do anything else. Like people say, can we have like behind the scenes videos or like exclusive videos? And I don't like the idea of locking off content based on disposable income. And that's why like my Discord channel doesn't have a VIPs only chat, which was suggested a few times. Like I don't want to divide the community based on their wealth, which was what would worry me with Patreon. So like I appreciate Patreons, and I used to do a lot more with Patreon, but I got to the point where I was just like, I feel a bit bad for people that would genuinely want to donate if they had money, and I don't want to divide people over that. So
yeah.
So that's that. So yeah, we got a nice payload going here. We have the fairing up. Where is the fairing? KSP getting everything in the wrong order now. I think because the root part is something weird. Let's see. That goes for. Okay, so now we just need to build our ascent booster. Do I still have things in the sub-assemblies? Oh, what's that? Oh yeah, that's the Blunderbird 2 cargo bay where we rescued that Munlander. Okay, so we'll have to just quickly build up the lifting stage from scratch. Probably won't need anything too big. Just have like a Rhino engine up here. In fact, that's probably overkill. Just like a little... We'll add that fuel tank there. I still don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to building ascent vehicles. I just kind of strap loads of things together and think, that'll probably work. Wow, KSP is getting the order of these things completely wrong, isn't it?
I do still sometimes get surprised about how the staging order can get so screwed up.
I think it's to do with the root part.
It just ends up in no order at all.
If I change the root part to this thing, it will then... Because at the moment, I'm still building upside down. Like, the root part was this thing here, but then I flipped the whole thing upside down to start building downward, but KSP probably hasn't registered that, so now I've changed the root part to the other thing. It will start building it properly. Let's see.
Question there from Pulsified. Matt, have you tried Real Solar System?
I haven't, actually. And people keep asking me in my videos to play more with mods like Galileo's Planet Pack and things, and maybe I will eventually. I do have a plan for a series that does use a modded... Well, I don't want to go too much in detail, but there will be mods in the new series. But I part of the reason... Before I started making YouTube videos, I liked watching people like Hazardish and Mr. Overfloater, just because I liked the way they used stock KSP, and they sort of overcame the challenges of the stock game. Which is... Where's that? Okay, it's there. I just need to get the vectors right. And I had that in my Mun Machine video. Someone said, can you please use modded parts? And someone replied with basically perfectly reflecting my thoughts on that. It was like, he was like, I subscribe to this channel because of the fact that it's using the stock game and is overcoming the challenges of stock, which is like more interesting to me. Like I remember when I was first starting playing the game, I would watch things like Scott Manley's Interstellar Quest, and I would just be really sort of confused and upset by it because I was just looking at it like, this doesn't look like KSP. What is this? And I would find it quite intimidating to get into and things. And And yeah, I know since I've always just preferred watching stock KSP because it doesn't really require me learning anything new, and it's the only thing I've ever played. And I quite like the challenge of stock, especially when it comes to things like designing rovers and bases. Although there's only really a limited number of configurations you can do in stock, so maybe I will at some point.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a play around with the real solar system stuff myself. I haven't done a lot on my channel with it because, well, frankly, it ends up a little bit boring in a lot of cases because the ascents just take so long. Even the re-entries take so long. Everything is basically, especially when you're in the atmosphere and you can't time warp more than, say, 4 times, things can be quite monotonous. And even playing the game can be quite monotonous in a sense. But obviously had a good go with the Galileo Planet Pack on my channel, but I'm also finding just some of the interesting compatibility things. I'm actually trying to get the damn thing to work now that I've reinstalled it with CCAN, and for some reason it's not working properly, so I'm still trying to scratch my head
CCAN is
around
one of those
that
things
one.
I've just never used. I've always just kind of updated it from the websites themselves, but
yeah, CCAN's really great if all the mods that you've got ticked there are, compatible.
I think because
if they
I
start
like
influencing each other, then it's a problem.
I think because I use things like camera tools and things, which isn't part of CCAN or anything. For those, I get asked a lot, how have I got camera tools in the latest version of KSP? It's because it's not its own mod anymore. It's part of BD Armory. If you go on BD Armory on the forums, there should be a link for camera tools there. Okay, so for those of you that might have seen, I didn't want to interrupt you at the time, Marcus, but the ship obviously underwent rapid unplanned disassembly. So I think it's because the fairing was clipping into the side tanks.
Yeah, that's a problem I've been having a lot myself, actually. Just
Fairings are really
they
glitchy.
look like they look like everything is clearly in the fairing. You hit the launch pad and everything just, that's it. That's the end of it.
Bum, 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 bum. Okay, let's try that. Oh. Whoops. I think it's something to do with the physics loading and it glitches it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real pest. I'm having the same problem in my GPP install as well. It's like I put things in there and half the time I'm just not putting fairings on at all, which looks stupid, but it doesn't make that much difference if you have a fairing on there or not, frankly.
No, I refuse to be defeated by the fairing. We're going to get this working. We could split it into 2 fairings. Let's try that.
See, also, like it used to be that if you had clamshell turned on, then it would be, particularly glitchy. But when you had clamshell turned off, they generally always worked. But I don't know if it's something in 1.3 that's made just the fairings in general just more glitchy than they used to be. I don't know. I don't remember having all this problem with 1.2. I could be wrong, but yeah.
Let's just launch it without the fairing. Just make sure it doesn't just explode on the launch pad, and then we'll be able to isolate the problem as not being the fairing. Running out of there, I don't know what to say. Oh gosh, that felt good. That felt good. Oh. Here we go. Right. Well, we can see it. Make sure this can actually take off. There we go. Someone in Discord ages ago, and I just never got around to answering, asked how did I get so many engines on the bottom. The vector, you don't need to wait for it to. You can attach it anywhere basically. You don't need to attach it to a specific attachment point or anything. So we've got quite a nice, sleek design, actually, haven't we? This probably won't have enough. It doesn't look like it's big enough to get to Tylo, so I might need to add some more fuel tanks to it. But I mean, at face value, it looks pretty nice. What do you think? I don't actually know if there's enough fuel in that upper stage. Now I'm looking.
It's looking pretty awesome. I do really love how you can just basically symmetry stick those vectors on like that. I wish you could do it with all the engines. I don't know.
It is nice. I mean, you can. The way I used to do it before vectors were added was just to use the cubic octagonal struts, which then
Yeah.
Or even like the FL, the fuel tanks. These fuel tanks here, the ones that are highlighted, that you'll see in 30 seconds, Marcus. But everyone else should see this as it happens. I used to just attach those on, and then because you can attach those anywhere, and then just attach the engines to them. So our electric. Let's just check our electric charge. That's all. Oh yeah, because the engines are running, so it won't matter anyway.
Yeah,
So
it's a cool little trick one.
But yeah, it's just a nice way of doing it. It's especially useful for Eve landers. Like the Vector is just the best engine for Eve. The Mammoth is good as well, and the mainsail as well, but Vectors for me. Like my latest Eve lander, I literally just used one Vector.
Yeah.
For the whole. Well, I used one Vector for the whole ascent, apart from the very last part, which used a Terrier. But other than that, the whole thing was done using just the one Vector, with just like an asparagus setup for the fuel tanks.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah, the Vector it's almost OP in terms of how good it is. I really love the Vector. It's like probably one of my favorite additions. Well, one of my favorite recent additions, relatively recent additions to the game. So let's see. We don't have enough fuel to get into orbit for a start. But I didn't anticipate we would. I just wanted to make sure the thrust to weight ratio was okay.
Nice.
Does anyone actually use
definitely a good engine.
What's that?
It's definitely a good engine, the Vector. I just kind of wish that they would give some more options for larger versions of the other engines. Like if you could get a
solid
larger
rocket boosters.
Nerve, a larger nerve would be nice instead of having to spam them all over the place on bigger vessels.
Yeah, I think the nerve is. I mean, I understand that because it's it's such a good engine. They deliberately designed it to be quite awkward to use. Like none of the landing legs can extend below the nerve. I think it'd be nice to have bigger landing legs as well. I think just having some sort of hinge, like an Infernal Robotics hinge in the stock game, would be a really good thing to have.
Just for anybody that follows SpaceX as well, the Dragon has begun its deorbit. Basically, the deorbit burn has been completed. It should be splashed down in around half an hour.
Nice.
Actually, 10 minutes, because I'm reading this 20 minutes late.
John Hawley has just sent me $2. Thank you very much, John Hawley. I really hope I've not missed anyone else's super chats. I don't think I have. But yes, he said, Matt, you're an optometrist, right? Haha, no. You're an optometrist, right? No, it's usually just the quickest way of saying it because what I do is very similar to what an optometrist does. At least in the UK. I don't know if the roles are any different in the US. I think in the US they are slightly different. But in the UK at least, optometrists and opticians, like the people you go see on the street, in High Street, not on the street, to get your glasses checks done, that's an optometrist. And I work in a hospital, and I don't do glasses checks. I can do glasses checks, but it's not really what I do, and it's not what I wanted to do. My official job title is specialist orthoptist. So I deal mainly with strabismus and oculomotor disorders, so anything neurogenic, as in like neurological problems, or particularly in problems with the eye muscles, is what I deal with. So if you're getting double vision and you live in Plymouth, you will almost certainly come and see me or one of my 5 other colleagues that have the same job as I do. I only work in hospitals, so NHS. And like I say, I can do glasses checks, but I don't, and I'd be very out of practice right now. There was a time when I was thinking about helping out in the stroke rehabilitation unit at a different hospital, and I would be doing the glasses checks for those patients, but in the end I decided instead to go down the macular route. So I'm starting to specialize in macular degeneration, so monitoring that. I don't know if anyone has family who have macular degeneration or anything, but my job would essentially be just checking the back of the eye, making sure there's no hemorrhage or anything there, and having a look at the scans, making sure nothing has changed, and then if it's deemed appropriate, I would then send them off to have Lucentis or Eylea injections into the back of the eye just to fix any sort of leaking or hemorrhaging or anything like that. Because macular degeneration, this is probably a really boring topic for most people, but whatever. I've run out of other things to talk about. It's when there's like fluid in the back of the eye that kind of goes through, like seeps between the retinal cells and distorts and damages vision. Unfortunately, there's no real treatment for most of it, but patients with like what's called the wet kind, we can inject Lucentis or Eylea, which are anti-VEGF fluids, which stops the brain from forming any more new blood vessels and causing more leaks. But unfortunately, any damage that has already been done is irreversible, and most patients over time eventually go blind in that eye. But if we can slow it down, or at least try and hold the vision at an acceptable level, that would be ideal. And that's what I do. You need to notice us,
valuable,
Matt, someone said.
Valuable thing that you do there, Matt. And I can appreciate it probably more than a lot of people, because I've got a son that's got a fairly rare genetic retinal dystrophy sort of thing, which I don't even fully understand. So, like, it's vision is just such an important thing, and you take it for granted when you've got pretty good vision. Even if you've got sort of poor vision, you've still got much better vision than somebody that's got some of these pretty horrible and debilitating.
Oh yeah, there are absolutely
conditions. So.
There are some pretty sucky things you can have. Luckily, I'm not typically the one that has the really difficult conversation with parents about, your child is going to go blind or whatever. That's usually a consultant, but it's never nice dealing with that. But it's nice to know that I can at least make a difference and try and halt a lot of the things. But yeah, that's in answer to your question, John. The super chat's disappeared off my screen. I can't remember his name. I think it was John Hawley, was it, or something? Being with H, JH. That was his. Sorry, that was his question. That's what I do. Oh, John Hawley sent me another $5. So yeah, it was John Hawley. I did get it right. Okay. So I'm trying to decide if I should do an onion setup or asparagus setup for these side boosters. So most people are familiar with asparagus setup, which is where kind of the fuel tanks sort of drain into each other sequentially. Onion is similar, but they just all drain into the central. They don't feed into each other, which is more like the like what would happen in real life. Asparagus setups don't exist in real life, although the actual term asparagus staging isn't a KSP thing. The actual term asparagus staging was coined a while ago by someone. I can't remember who. What's this? Right engine.
I'm not actually sure where that first came from either.
I remember reading about it.
Actually relates to it
a long time ago. But it's not a KSP term, which is what a lot of people think it is, and it's not. But I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you where. But it was definitely coined prior to KSP, but it's never been implemented in real life because it's just too complicated, and the number of systems that would be in place it's just not practical in real life. At least not with today's current technologies.
Yeah, and I know SpaceX were at one point thinking about trying to have some sort of flow between the.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think it's Falcon Heavy, where that's what they call that's what they call like an onion setup, where it's the two side boosters feed into the central one. But that's kind of what we're doing here. Obviously, there's 4 of them. But yeah, if you guys, I recently actually was given some meds to try. We had a medical rep come to the hospital. I was given some free. So you get a lot of free samples in my line of work. So I've got some Theolos Duo Gel. So if you'd like to sponsor me, Theolos, then you hit me up. But they did buy me a free lunch, and they gave me loads of donuts. Well, not me personally, the whole department. And they asked me in return to recommend these to people. So there you go. If you've got dry eye, you can take these. I don't think you need a prescription for it. I'm pretty sure that was one of the selling points. You can just buy it, or you just ask your GP. But they're good. They're artificial tear things. So yeah, that's that. Welcome to the KSP chat for everyone just joining, where we talk about eye drops. Okay, just gonna try this thing out.
I'm going to have to leave you with it, I think, mate. We'd probably need to get to bed. And
that's fair enough. Yeah, what time is it over there for you?
It's about 12:15. So yes, it's getting past the time that I really should be sleeping because I got to work in the morning. But yeah, no, thanks everybody for the chat and messages, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you all in the next live stream.
Yeah, absolutely. It was nice to have you here. For those of you who aren't subscribed to Marcus, there is a link to his channel in the description, I think. Yep, there is. I've just checked.
Why, thank you very much.
So you guys can all go check Marcus's channel out. What can we expect from your channel in the next coming weeks? Have you got videos planned, or?
I have been wanting to do a bit of a Cassini-ish sort of mission with. I don't know. It depends if I can get the Galileo Planet Pack behaving itself again. So I'm not 100% sure. Either that, or I'm tempted to do a little bit more with the Kerbal Operating System mod and do some more.
Oh yeah, I've always been just too intimidated to even bother attempting that, but I am familiar with the mod.
But no, I don't have any immediate plans at the moment because I'm trying to get the Planet Pack working again. I don't actually know what's wrong with it. Whenever I boot the game up, for some reason, I've still got Kerb in there. Everything else seems to be fine. All the textures, all the load screens, everything's fine. But for some reason, I've still got Kerbin instead of Gale. I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to reinstall it.
Oh, fair enough. Well, like I say, thanks for joining us, and yeah,
No worries at
everyone.
all.
I think
Thank
it was
you.
your latest video. I've just realised I've had these empty tanks attached for a while. Oh, well, that staging's gone horribly wrong. I might go to the toilet whilst you're leaving, because we'll have a quick intermission again. No more than 2 minutes, and then Marcus won't be with us when I return. But thank you for joining us again. Have a good sleep. And if you guys want to watch a Lego Saturn V build, best Saturn V build on YouTube is on Marcus's channel.
Best Saturn V build.
The absolute best, guaranteed. So
I don't know if that's true.
All right, man. See you later.
Cheers. See you guys.
Bye. Okay, I'm now gonna go to the toilet, so I need you to have an intermission now. I'm back. Oh, I'm just in time for a phone notification, apparently. So how's everyone doing? We've only lost 120 viewers during the intermission, so it's not could have been worse. There we go. Right, love the gloves, by the way. Right, I need to send a text. Right, let's get back to the stream, shall we? I will now squat on our shelf. What have I haven't missed anything? I haven't missed any super chats or anything, have I? I'd feel bad if I did. Oh, I do see a super chat up there. It's from John Hawley though, so I haven't missed any. Good. Right. So where were we? Where did we leave off? Oh yeah, the solid rock. But there are enough SRBs here. It wasn't out of balance. So why didn't all of them fire? Because I'm an idiot and didn't set up the staging. That's why. Okay, beautiful. We'll just add a few more SRBs. Let's see. We don't need them to be here, but just kind of looks nice. There we go. Up. There we go. So I'm thinking about making this whole stream into like an abridged video. I don't know if anyone remembers the stream montage, not montage, but Laura plays Kerbal Space Program, a video I made ages ago. That was all from a live stream. I just realised I think I've messed up this staging. No, I haven't. Never mind. I was thinking of doing a similar sort of thing with this one. So, yeah. Is my mic? Oh, never mind. Yeah. Joe, I was hearing on radio one the other day. Apparently, it wasn't a big, well-known thing that Houston, we have a problem, was referring to the place in Texas, Houston. People, apparently a scary number of people think it's referring to a person called Houston. Like Whitney Houston. Like, you know, Houston, were like, how do you not know that it's referring to the place in Texas? Maybe that's not. To me, it's really obvious that they're clearly referring to the place in Texas. But I thought that was pretty scary that these people are breeding. All right, so take 2 for flying this thing. How is Laura related to you exactly? She's a friend from university. There we go. How in Kerbing do you get such a good frame rate? I have a pretty good computer. I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM. Well, that doesn't really make a difference. My CPU is pretty good. It's i7 3820. It's a 6-core i7 basically, and it's overclocked as well. And I've got a good graphics card. I got a 980 Ti. So those things combined mean that KSP runs pretty well. Okay, we'll just get into the. Just continuing to ascend. Brilliant. So I guess for those that somehow aren't familiar, the objective for ascending in KSP is just to, you know, slowly tip yourself over till you're pointing 45 degrees at 10 kilometers. The problem with KSP is when the versions changed. Whoops, I accidentally fired those SRBs there. Come on, run out of fuel. Run out of fuel. There we go. Better sort that out in the staging in a minute. But hopefully it hasn't done too much damage. So I'm hoping this thing will fly a lot better once we can get the fairings working, but just because I got bored of playing with the fairings, though, we'll just make sure this thing can get into orbit first before we start faffing around with the fairings. So we'll make sure I'm going to basically try and do the entire mission now on stream before we actually fix the fairings, and I might do a few sort of cosmetic tweaks to the ship before we actually go ahead and film the final cut for the mission. Love a bit of Lucasade. Lucasade, if you want to sponsor me, please hit me up. Okay. Sweet. How much more Delta V do we have? It doesn't actually show the Delta V for the current stage, which is good. We've got loads of fuel left, haven't we? So we're just going to continue flying at 45 degrees for a bit, I think. Because our thrust weight ratio is not fantastic. So we're not ascending at a particularly fast rate. So we're just going to hold it at 45 degrees for a bit. And then once we start building up enough speed. I'm basically watching these numbers here at the top. That's how I'm able to fly without using the map screen. By looking at the numbers, there's our apoapsis there. So actually that's getting pretty high up. So now we're about a minute from apoapsis. We can start to sort of slowly tilt ourselves to be flatter. I would have done this much more gradually if I'd concentrating, but I haven't, so I didn't. But yeah, you want to have a kind of a more sort of nice arc for your... Can you see that? Nice arc for your ascent profile. But whatever, we have more than enough fuel when it comes to our ascent stage. And we can just detach that. So I'm just going to try and get my apoapsis to about 120 should be a good height. When we do our escape burn, we're going to be probably having to do quite a long burn, so we'll end up forcing our periapsis to be quite low. So we'll probably want quite a nice high apoapsis just so we have lots of room to muck about with our escape burn. I'm just watching our times with apoapsis. See, we're actually closing in on our apoapsis faster than we're raising it. So I'm just going to sort of play around with our angle, generally flying as flat as we can. And then see now the time to apoapsis accelerate is increasing quite rapidly, so we can start flying flatter again because we want to be using our fuel to increase our horizontal speed rather than our vertical height. And there's the fuel run out, and we are exactly at 70 kilometers up. So actually, we probably don't have enough fuel to circularize. We can have a go. Well, we have enough fuel to circularize. We don't have enough thrust to weight ratio. Let's see if we can just raise that a bit more. So we'll continue raising that. Luckily, it's not going to cost very much. So we'll just continue raising it to about 120, I think. That was the original plan. So yeah, as you can tell, this isn't my save. This is KSP Paul's save. For those just tuning in, this is me building the ship for the latest Blunderbirds, in which we need to be going to Tylo. So this is kind of the first draft, for want of a better word, for our spacecraft design. So I'm suspicious, in fact, I've not messed this up, have I? No, we just need to disable crossfeed on this docking port real quick. Yeah, like I say, this is the first draft of our Tylo mission. So Tylo's pretty hard to get to, which is why I've wanted to do a Blunderbirds thing to Tylo for a while. And then when I saw that Reddit post, and then Kerbal Space Program tweeted the post as well to give it a bit more infamy, maybe is the right term. So it's going to start burning. Generally, you burn about, you look at the time to complete the burn. You start burning kind of halfway. You cut that time in half. And then what you're left with when you're that far away from the maneuver node, that's when you start burning. So I had a 24-second burn, so I started burning 12 seconds before I reached the maneuver node, if that made sense. Obviously, for bigger, there's a lot more things at play, and if you wanted to calculate properly, there is more complex calculations you can do. But for the sake of Kerbal Space Program, really, that's fine. Okay, so we are now in orbit. And where is Joule, actually? I didn't really bother. So we're not really at the perfect phase angle, but we're not too far off, to be honest. Joule needs to be about 101 degrees ahead of Kerbin. So if you draw a line from Kerbin to the sun to Joule, it should be about here. So like 101 degrees. So it's a little bit... We've just missed the transfer window, basically. But this is kind of a good measure. If we're going to be using... For the dress rehearsal missions especially... I like to do it a little bit more inefficiently because I might not always be able to get the same level of efficiency every time I do the mission. So if I can do this mission inefficiently, when I do the mission for real, I will actually get it to the proper transfer window and things. So it's just to help confirm that I definitely have enough surplus fuel to account for any mistakes that I inevitably will make. Although we are pushing it a bit, aren't we? So what I just do here is just grab onto that. Just zoom out and just sort of carry on playing around with it. Oh. This is very invigorating, I imagine, to watch. God, this guy has so much rubbish in his save. Okay, here we go. There we go. Grab onto that again and just continue playing around. Yeah, I think we're going to have to go like there, aren't we? Here we go. Let's try this. Maybe I should just wait for a transfer. Maybe I should just wait for a transfer window. I mean, how much delta V current? 622 meters per second. That can't be right. It's probably thinking about what gets detached first. Do you know what? We'll just quick save here, and just time accelerate to an actual transfer window. So let's see. Let's just get rid of all the rubbish on here that we don't need. There we go. clear up the screen a bit. Okay, so let's just begin our time acceleration. So actually, we're going to use better time warp, hyper warp. Here we go. Now we're just going to wait for Joule. Whoops. No, whatever. This is fine, isn't it? Where? Okay, cool. So we're nearly there. In fact, I've just overshot. I wasn't watching the screen. Let's just go quick load. What's that notification on my phone saying? Brilliant. Okay. So we're going to just get to the sun. Where's Joule? There's Joule. Get rid of everything we don't need. So we're going to want... So Kerbin's here. We want Joule to be kind of almost like here, really. So let's see. So now Kerbin's ahead of Joule. We want Kerbin to be just behind Joule by about 100 degrees. Like I said, it was almost perfect where we were, but we just missed the window. I'd say that's pretty good there, to be honest. I could use Code Alarm Clock, but I can't be bothered to download it. So someone said, are you going to use the successful take of this in your new video? Nothing at the moment, because I haven't actually finished the rocket yet. I want to have the actual payload encased in a fairing when I actually get around to building it, because I like the way the fairing will make the rocket look a bit nicer and a bit sleeker. And it will fly a lot better as well with the fairing. But just for the sake of testing the craft, I didn't think it was that important. So there we go. We've got a nice Joule encounter there. We're going to make a quick save. We could just do a quick burn, actually. So something like wondering why I'm not going to run out of electric charge. I have 3 RTGs on this thing to generate all our power for us. So it's going to be a 15-minute burn. I reckon we could probably get away with doing it in one go. Whoops. God damn it. There we go. Right. Make sure I'm still on a trajectory for Joule. Yeah, that'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So just gonna wait. What about now? Let's just start burning now. So like I say, this is our periaptite here. We might end up dipping into the atmosphere, at which point we'll probably need to start burning from a higher orbit. Or do the sensible thing, in which we just do 2 burns to get us. So we'll do 1 burn to get us sort of beyond Nimbus's height. And then another burn to get us, you know, out of the Kerbin system completely. And yeah, we're already at a periapsis of 83 and falling fast. So this is probably not going to work. No, I'm almost going to guarantee it's not going to work. But it will start. The periapsis height will start falling less and less as we start leveling out. So I mean, if we can get our periapsis to stay above 60 kilometers, then we should be fine. The atmosphere doesn't get that much thicker. I mean, and again, it's nice to know that if we fly this thing really inefficiently, it's just nice to know that then when we actually fly this thing for real, it's going to work. Actually, extend our radiators, or radiator apparently. So just going to keep an eye on these fuel tanks, and then we'll just detach them once they've run out. So we have a periapsis of 60,000 there. And again, it's still falling. So now we've entered the atmosphere. This mission is going disastrously so far. But like I say, if we can make sure it works and we're flying it badly, then when we fly it well, when I film the mission for real, then it's definitely going to work. And there go those tanks there. And in fact, this has worked out quite nicely, really, because our periapsis is within the atmosphere, so those things will eventually burn up and be taken out of orbit. So, in a way, this actually worked out quite well. All things considered. I mean, I could even have, once we've started shedding lots of weight, what I might do is add another nuclear engine, and then once we've, like, lost the lander and things, we can just drop some of the nuclear engines just to save on weight, because they are really heavy. That's kind of the way the game balances them out, by having them to be stupidly heavy and have terrible thrust to weight ratio, but they're really efficient for vacuum stages. And yeah, I think I'll see what we're gonna do. We'll just redo this because this burn's not gone very well. Oh, notice people are sharing KSP pictures in the live stream chat, which is always nice to see. Oh, I've got no monopropellant. You're joking, mate. Or whatever. So let's see. Yeah. Set the camera to 3. So what we'll do is we'll just create one maneuver node to get us to sort of beyond Minmus. And then we'll do another one to get us beyond the beyond the Kerbin system, sorry. How's everyone doing? Like, can now look at the chat for a bit whilst we do these sort of long burns and things. I'm keeping an eye on my electric charge as well. I mean, I shouldn't. Wow, we have way too much electric charge really for what we need to do for this mission. Oh, thanks, Myva Gaming. Says he loves my channel. Why wouldn't he? Don't worry, I'm not that much of an arrogant arsehole. Okay. 7-minute burns. We're going to start burning about 3 minutes-ish. There we go. I know this is a little bit earlier than we should really do, but whatever. I don't care. I don't care. We don't need to be that efficient. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep an eye on these tanks here. These tanks here. Where are they? There you go. Obviously, because they've got no engine attached to them, we have no way of knowing when they've run out of fuel. I guess we could have the really small lightweight spider engines on here that wouldn't really add much meaningful mass, but it would give us a liquid fuel readout on the left. But this is fine what we're doing here, just having the little tab. But that's an interesting idea, which I've never really thought of that before. But that could be an interesting thing to try. So yeah, the hardest part is getting it to the mun height, and then it will just start rapidly increasing after that. Oh, we've done the lights on, can't we? Look at that. Beautiful. Myva Gaming, first time he's nosy. Matt, do any of your colleagues do noses? I don't know anyone. Obviously, ENT, ear, nose, and throat is quite closely connected to eyes, although I don't know anyone personally that I would know well enough to call them a colleague, but I'm not really the one to ask about noses. I know a lot about eyes, not a lot about anything else, really. And there goes the debris. So let's see. This is going to be like... Going to keep on burning. You can watch our apoapsis will suddenly start shooting up very fast. So Kerbin's SOI ends about like here, where the cursor is at the moment. So I mean, we could have done this more efficiently by doing 2 burns at periapsis, but I've done for some of my SSTO missions, especially the ones with lower thrust to weight ratio. But it doesn't make a huge difference, to be honest, in the grand scheme of things. And like I say, I like to do these kinds of missions inefficiently, just because then when I actually film it for real, I don't have to worry too much about running out of fuel or anything. Oops. So a quick cinematic pan around of Kerbin before coming back down, and I've realised I've not actually made a maneuver node, so that could be a useful thing to do. So we've really cut down on the amount of time we're going to be spending burning. Now it's just going to be a 7-minute burn. See, before it was like a 16-minute burn, and we've split it into 2 7-minute burns. Obviously, it takes longer because we've had to do 2 burns instead of 1. But it meant that it's going to be a lot more efficient, much more accurate as well, easier to predict. And, well, that's it, actually. So I'm going to start burning about 4 minutes to the maneuver node. Because, like I say, you want to... well, never mind. Overshot a little bit. But like I said earlier, you want to take the time it's going to take to burn, cut that time in half, and that's the time you want to that's the time you want to start burning at on the node in T. So, like I say, an 8-minute burn, cut it in half. That's 4 minutes. We're going to start burning before Then someone asked, "Hey Matt, what's the typical Matt Lowne sandwich?" Well, that's an interesting thing actually. I used to do when I went shopping. I'm trying to go on a diet because I've put on a bit of weight recently. But like I used to when I went to Tesco, I would assemble what I like to call the Matt Spectacular, which is where I'd go to the Tesco bakery, get a cheese topped baguette like that, sort of. That was about a foot long, maybe a little bit longer, and then I'd go to the meat counter where the butchers are and just buy all the discounted meats. I'd get turkey, pork luncheon, garlic sausage, chicken, turkey, ham. I've probably said one of those more than once. And then just build like a massive sandwich of meats. I wouldn't put anything healthy in it because that's just lame. And then I'd buy like a pack of Doritos or something and just sit and pig out on that. And I was just, because I only go to Tesco once a month. It's like not once a month, but once every 2 weeks. So it'd be my fortnightly treat. But like I say, I need to lose a bit of weight. So I'm like, that's probably needs to cut this out for the time being. Maybe I'll make a video about the Matt Spectacular at some point. I think I did a video about me making a cheese sandwich in my early days of YouTube. I think that video might be unlisted now. It's definitely in my Discord though. If you search for like grilled cheese in my Discord general chat, I think it's in the general chat or KSP chat, and it will be there. Speaking of Discord, there is a nice little chat going on. It's called live stream chat. There have been 406 new messages since 2:37, so it's quite active. And in the actual voice channel as well, there's like a group of people watching the stream together and talking with voices. You'll be able to see. I think it's the one called Launchpad, but it's the one with loads of people in it. It's nice to see that still going on. And yeah, just burn is going pretty nicely. How are we doing? So we're nearly at Joule. Oh yeah, look, General Echo put my cooking video in there. So there we go, in the chat. I know it will have gone now because there's a 30-second delay between me and what the chat sees, but General Echo did just post it in the chat. And you can easily find the message because he has a little blue screwdriver next to his name. And look at that, we are actually approaching Joule. So in the last part of the burn, I like to close that window and just watch the... There we go. And that's it. We have our thing to Joule. So we can just type in, like, I don't know, 1A, just to make sure it goes to the top of the quick save list. 1A1 en route to Joule 1. There we go. So how much Delta V have we got left in our current stage? 575, which is completely untrue. So we'll just forget about Kerbal Engineer. We'll just wing it. Oh, God. I nearly time accelerated past the whole thing. So you hit backspace, by the way, to quickly zoom in. And like I've just realized now that the thing is glitched out. So just quick save and quick load. Oh, yeah, it is a spanner. You're right, General Echo. Okay. So as you can see, our dual encounter is rubbish at the moment, so we're going to do a quick course correction. I'm not going to be aiming for efficiency here. There are probably better ways of doing this. We just want to make sure we get a Tylo encounter. Now, a lot of you people ask me, how do you get Tylo gravity assists to get you captured at Joule? And there is a simple answer to this. I don't know. I just kind of keep playing around with it until it works. So as you can see, we're not getting an encounter here. So then I just shout and swear at the game for about a couple of hours. Probably not that long. Getting angrier and angrier, and then I'm like, it works. I'm like, okay, I can relax again. But yeah, I don't know the method to it. There's probably a way of planning it out, but I just like moving the maneuver node around until I get a Tylo encounter all set up. So we can just see the maneuver node thing there moving around slowly. We're getting closer, I think. Oh, try that. Okay, let's just forget about that. Yeah, I'm not actually that good at this game. I feel like I'm pretty good at the game generally, but there are some aspects of the game that I just still kind of improvise. I don't really know the actual methodology to doing it, which is why I've always kind of held off from doing tutorials. Most of my methods rely on trial and error, with a great deal of error. Okay, so you can see the manure nodes there aren't quite coming together still. So we'll just, if we can just zoom out. If we can just zoom out a little bit, that'd be great. So like I said, we have a huge amount of delta V really left over. So I'm not... Okay, not sure what happened there. Okay, I think the stream just crashed. No one's saying it's crashed, but I don't want to continue now in case there's a delay. And I do need a glass of water. So I'll be back in 30 seconds, guys, just to give the thing a chance in case it crashed to just catch up. So I'll quickly just mute this. I'm back. Let's close that. Okay. Did anyone have... Did the stream... Let's see. Yeah, that's what I mean. Everyone was saying the stream crashed and things. But now it looks like it's all back on track. That's why I kind of took that intermission just then, just to make sure if the stream was going to crash, it wouldn't be during some critical gameplay period. But I think we're back now. So let's just don the goggles again. Again, guys, this is the Matt Lowne summer look. These goggles. I got them from lootcrate.com/Matt. So if you want to get 10% off, you can do that. That's not great for playing the game though, because they are tinted red. What is this, like the 80s version of KSP? I don't know what that means. I'm just going to ignore it. Okay. What were we doing again? Oh yeah, we're trying to get a Tylo encounter, weren't we? Oh, this is looking good. This is looking good. Yeah, boy. So we can just quickly quick save in case I mess something up. I just said just quick save. There we go, right, quick save. Okay. So we'll just play around with this and we can get ourselves on a Tylo encounter. We can get ourselves on an equatorial encounter once we've... So I mean, ideally you want to get your Tylo encounter at periapsis to get like... There we go. So what we can do here is just so we don't have to do a capture burn at Joule to get ourselves down and decelerate, you can actually do a gravity assist with Tylo. And then once we come out of that, you can see... No, hang on. That was the wrong side. If we go around to the other side of Tylo, I should say. So we're basically passing Tylo and flinging ourselves backwards along its orbit. You can see we'll be into a circular Joule orbit that's all captured and things. So we're getting a free capture, basically. As it happens, we don't really need to do that because we're going to be stopping at Tylo. But you can see we've kind of got a nice horseshoe shape, so it won't actually take that much fuel to get ourselves captured. So that's the plan. Whether or not it works is a different story. So let's see. We've got a small burn in 215 days. So where is our map? Thanks, General Echo, for the advertising. Okay. I think the funny thing about Loot Crate is that they're such a young, fresh, hip company. Like all their emails to me, like usually when I'm in business correspondence, I'm just like, "Dear Sir or Madam, I'm writing to inform you, blah blah." And they're like, "What up, gamers? Like we're here to help you hook your fans up with loads of dope swag. We've got our rep here who's got tons of XP dealing with you." And I'm like, I get it that you're trying to be hip and cool, but like, I don't mind you being professional in emails. It just comes across as trying too hard. Don't know. It felt like the email was written by a middle-aged man trying to sound all hip and cool. I thought it was quite funny with Loot Crate. I mean, they're really nice guys. They're always very quick to get back to me on any requests I had or anything. It just made me laugh that they were kind of being... It just seemed like they were just trying so hard to come across as all like down with the kids. Like, I get it. It's fine. I don't... So can I focus on Jewel? So just go hit tab and you just cycle through all the things you can target if you can't get it. There we go. So down comes our thingy bob. In fact, I've probably run out of fuel actually, haven't I, in these things? No, not yet. Not yet. Down it comes. Hey, awesome axolotl. Just I occasionally notice things in the chat. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, my maneuver node disappeared, whatever. But you can see if you just watch our orbit here, it's going to get us captured into a dual orbit. We don't need to do that though because we don't need to be stopping in dual orbit, but whatever. .66 should be a good height for our parapsis, so we'll just do a quick save here. In fact, I might even name this quick save. 1A1 Tylo encounter get. Nice. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Then we've done another thing here. How long will this burn take? It's 490. So about 1200. So we've got more than enough fuel for that. So what we're going to do, we're going to get ourselves captured. Kind of like the reverse of how we got away from Kerbin. We did 2 burns at Kerbin to get away from the planet. And then we could do 2 burns at Tylo to get captured. Unfortunately, it doesn't have an atmosphere, so we can't do a drogue shoot. Someone said, isn't Loot Crate just paying money for a bunch of shite you don't actually want? Well, if you don't want it, then don't pay for the service. Like, I quite liked the idea of it because it's all like gamer merch anyway. But I quite liked it because you get kind of it's like a present because you don't know what you're going to get, and it's kind of a nice. I think it's really fun to open it and things. I still have all my Loot Crate merch in my room. I've got my what are they called, Overwatch Man, sitting on my PC with the Lancer gun that I got in another Loot Crate. I'm wearing my Loot Crate goggles and Sonic gloves, and I have the Mega Man helmet somewhere. So, you know, I quite like it. And you get some nice the t-shirts you get. You know, they're not the best, but they are pretty decent quality. Okay, so we'll just make another quick save here. Enter Tylo. Why do I need to say why do I need to hear what they're saying in the Discord voice channel? Because if I open the Discord voice channel on stream, everyone on the stream will hear it as well. And, you know, I want you guys to be able to have free speech without wanting to worry about me coming in, and then you suddenly feel like you can't say what you want. So we're going to be burning in about 2 minutes before the encounter. And we're 66 kilometers above the surface, so we should be well clear of any mountains or terrain. So yeah, we're gonna burn. Well, we should be burning about 1 minute, 2 minutes should be fine. Let's just see. But burn there, and then we get a nice. So we're gonna keep an eye on these tanks here because these are nearly depleted now. There you go. And now on our final stage, yeah, we've got we have more than enough Delta V to complete this mission now. So I've got absolutely no worries about not having enough fuel. So I'm glad that we kind of have figured out that we can do this. And now we're all captured at Tylo, which is good news. What we're going to do now, we're going to stop burning, and we're just going to swing around to do our next burn. Because it's going to be the next burn is going to be almost as much as the previous burn to get our orbit circular. Yeah, in fact, it's going to be an even bigger burn than what we did to capture. Because now we're just basically forcing ourselves right down into the bottom of Tylo's gravity well. There we go. Cool. And we can just warp around. Nope, we have to just disable physical time acceleration. Then we warp here. Beautiful. Oh God, why did it do that? Do everything yourself, haven't you? Brilliant. Well done, KSP. That's great to get that maneuver node working again. So it's almost exactly on periapsis, which is fine. I'm just going to go do a quick save here in case I fudge this up. But it's 3 minutes 39 seconds burn. So we're going to be starting our burn about 1 minute 50, something like that. We'll just say 2 minutes because it actually is more efficient to burn just slightly before the halfway point. Not a huge deal. Again, now I know that we've got way more Delta V than we really need. I'm not really too worried about efficiency. How did you get the rings around Joule? That's the mod. It's environmental visual enhancements, but it's using the stock visual enhancements config files. It's the latest version of stock visual enhancements. I also have stock stock terrain enhancement as well, which is how the surface of the planets and moons look nicer up in person. A lot of people noticed that on my Mun rover video from yesterday, and that's what that is. Make sure none of these fuel tanks have been draining. Good. Whew. Well, this is exciting, isn't it? I'm not dabbing, guys. I'm 23, for God's sake. And there we go. Circular orbit achieved. Nice. So now we get to do the really fun part of testing the Tylo lander. So I guess just 1A1 Tylo orbit get. There we go. Now I tested this lander from a much higher orbit, so I know for a fact it will definitely work now. Just going to send Jebediah. In fact, we don't need to send anyone in EVA, do we? We can just transfer him. So transfer crew. Jebediah, we'll put him in the one with the ladder. So that one there. Cool. And we have 3,000. So in fact, we actually have enough fuel to even get to Minmus after we've done this mission if we wanted to. We could, I mean, goddamn, we could do a Mun landing, couldn't we? If we had something other than nuclear engines, we could even do a Lathe landing. So yeah, I've got way too much fuel really for this rocket. But whatever, that's a good thing. It means it's easier to for people to recreate it, I suppose. So yeah, my frame rate has just gone down the toilet. I do have a fidget spinner. I wanted to see what the fuss was about because literally every for a while, at least not so much now, But when they were in like the height of their popularity, every patient of mine that was like above the age of like was about the age of 7 or above, they would just come in, they would just show me their fidget spinners, and I'd be sitting there thinking, am I supposed to be impressed? I don't really understand what it is. It's like, you know what, there must be more to this. I'm going to buy one and see what it's about. Guys, it just spins around. That's all they do. I don't get it. I feel like I really don't get it. Oh god, nearly hit our mothership there. Yeah, the frame rate will improve once that thing gets within 2 kilometers of each other. Well, since when are struts buggy like this? The struts have always been buggy like that, to be honest, but it depends on the vessel, really. I feel like if we start burning at like 55, maybe. I mean, I know I can calculate the suicide burn using Kerbal Engineer, but you know, whatever. This is just how I've always done it, where I make a quick save point and then just keep on trying over and over again until it works. I mean, I suppose we are on the correct save file. I could have just tried landing at the rescue point now, but yeah, it's quite difficult to do, and I've already got to do it. Wow, why is it shaking? Oh, I know why it's shaking about so much. We press control from here. That's the main reason there's a docking port in the center. Because Jebediah is not central, it's trying to control it from Jebediah's seat. But because he's slightly off center, the thing's not burning in the correct direction. It's burning slightly off retrograde, which is why it was shaking about so much. So we have a thingy here that we can just press control from there. Oh, I don't know if this is going to work. This might be the luckiest suicide burn ever, but no, I don't think we're going to be. Impact time 25 seconds. We might slow down enough, but probably not. Come on, baby. Come on. So close. So close, yet so far away. Yeah, spinners are pretty useful. Yeah, I know what it is. They're like they were designed for autistic kids in mind originally, weren't they? And don't know. I guess it's quite therapeutic just sit there playing with it or something. It's like no different to playing with a pen, is it? I think I have a fidget cube as well. I went on a little binge, just like, well, I may as well buy a fidget cube while I'm buying a fidget spinner, just so I can see what that trend's about as well. So what time? I think I started burning it. Let's try start burning it like, did I start burning at 50,000 or 60,000? I'm going to start burning at 60,000, but if that's what I did last time, can someone let me know in the chat? Thanks, guys. Oh yeah, I need to press control from here again, don't I? Did that work? No, there we go. Which I'm going to retract the landing leg just while we're descending in case one of the tanks hits them. Like I say, we do have more than enough Delta V built into this lander, so efficiency isn't especially important. The reason I overbuilt it was just because I wasn't quite sure how much fuel I would waste trying to get a good encounter with our target. Which is something I often do in Blunderbirds, is I do quite inefficient landings because I'm trying to get the encounter with the target all set up. Save 11. So yeah, we need about 2,300 meters per second of Delta V to take off from Tylo. So with we've got about 3,500 right now. So we have more than enough to take off. We have about 1,000 units of Delta V to play around with when it comes to actually getting our encounter with the ground target, which is excellent. Whoops, I think I might have been a bit overzealous just then. Come on, baby. Nah, we'll be fine. Oh. Beautiful. And over 3,000 units of fuel remaining. So we can go on EVA. Plan our flag. Oh, I need to sort out the flags on the lander, actually, because they're all clipping into each other, aren't they? Cool. Yeah, whatever. Right. Well, there's Jebediah and his Blunderbird's flag. We can get a little shot for the thumbnail. Are we in science mode? I'm using... This is obviously someone else's save file. No, he plays on Sandbox. What a noob. Okay. And then we just make sure our ladders work as well. Obviously, Tylo's gravity is basically the same as Kerbin. For all intents and purposes, it's exactly the same as Kerbin. So we need ladders because the jetpacks don't work. Okay, and we're ready to depart. So let's see where our orbiting thing is. In fact, where is the stranded lander? Oh, good. It's along the equator at least, which is good. Don't need it for now, so let's see. Set as target. Now, because Tylo has an atmosphere, we can actually start accelerating when it's relatively close. Like there would probably be good. I've no idea, to be honest. Okay. And then we're going to hit lift off, immediately pointing ourselves almost flat, because Tylo has no atmosphere. So the only reason we would start pointing upwards at all is just so we don't fall. So we're watching our time to apoapsis here. We want to make sure that doesn't fall below. Oh god. I panicked and pressed the wrong button. I still do this. I still try and control it from what's on the screen rather than using the nav ball. Right. I might have a... Here we go, right. Let's try that again. So we know we're going to hit the terrain if we point too flat too soon. So we're going to try and gain a little bit of height. Get our apoapsis to maybe 3,000 and then start. We'll just point ourselves prograde. Let SAS do the steering. So yeah, we're going to easily clear that terrain. Probably. So we're just going to watch our time to apoapsis now. We don't want that to fall below 1. Well, I guess we can. But as long as that doesn't fall below 0, we're good. Because like I say, with Tylo, we want to... There's no need to invest much of our fuel into accelerating upward. The reason you burn upwards in like Kerbin and Eve is because you have to get out of the thick part of the atmosphere first, where it's very inefficient to fly. But since there's no atmosphere on Tylo, the only thing we have to worry about is the land, which I failed to miss. So that's fun. We nearly cleared it though. So I've landed in a pretty horrible location, because we're next to this mountain. But again, it just kind of helps prove that this thing will definitely work when we do this mission for real, probably. Yeah, I'm just watching it now, crashing on the live stream. Okay. Third time's a charm, eh? Make sure we point in the right direction. Just burn upwards a little bit longer. Okay, that should definitely be clear of the mountain now. So now we're basically clear of all the terrain. We just want to invest all of our energy into horizontal acceleration. So making sure, obviously, our time to apoapsis, we don't shoot past apoapsis. Basically, what you'll see with the apoapsis height is that's climbing slowly. Eventually, that will start climbing quite rapidly, very rapidly. Going to continue accelerating. We've got loads of delta V remaining, so I'm not worried about fuel expenditure. I'm just going to be riding out the storm. So look, now our time to apoapsis is shooting up quite quickly, so we can just point ourselves almost completely flat now. Not too flat though, because now we're rapidly approaching our apoapsis. So our apoapsis isn't increasing that much, but look at our periapsis height. That's shooting up very, very quickly. So our circularization burn is not going to be very expensive. And now you can see our apoapsis is shooting upwards. How close to our target are we? Oh, could be closer, but I'd say that's pretty good. So we'll quick save now. And can we get them to be... How close can we get them? So we're separated by 93 kilometers. I'd say that's pretty good. So we've got 780 delta V to play around with. I'm actually going to just burn towards the target a little bit. So I just want to... So what we can do now is just get ourselves into an orbit. Oh god, what am I doing? I was burning relative to the target, damn it. Damn it, damn it. We'll just quickly save. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I play KSP. Well, I've messed up. Love a bit of water. Oh, damn, I think I loaded the wrong quick save and now I'm going to be back on the surface again. Damn it. No. Cool, I didn't. I didn't. I did something right. Hard to believe. Let's see, we're just going to continue. So look, our target, we're actually ahead of our target now. So if we just continue raising our orbit, we're going to be going a lot slower. And you can see our separation is immediately getting closer. So then we can make a maneuver node apoapsis and get our orbit circularized. And you can see we can actually bring our intersection to be closer. See, whilst I'm doing this, it's very hard for me to talk at the same time. There we go. So separation of about 1 kilometer is pretty good. So we just play around with the maneuver until we can get that sort of within... I'd say within 1 kilometer would be a good thing to aim for, but if we can get it closer... There you go, 0.7, 0.6, 0.5... There we go, 0.1. So we've got a maneuver node that's going to get us to within 100 meters of our target. And what's nice is that we don't even complete... We won't even be completing one orbit of Tylo before we meet our mothership, which is always a nice thing to do. It's quite satisfying to pull that off. And it's going to be a very quick burn. And it's well within our delta V budget. And because we've got quite powerful engines, well, we've got a powerful engine with 4, engines to help it out, it'll be quite a quick burn. So it's going to be fairly accurate when we do it, hopefully. It's going to start burning now because I won't be burning at full whack. I'm just going to watch. So I'm going to just close that target indicator now. I'm just going to watch the separation. So there it is. We're just watching this. 2 kilometers, 1 kilometer, 0.3. Let's just quickly point that to the other side. Just bring that down a little bit more. Let's see, 1.3, 0.2. No, well, whatever. 0.3 is 300 meters is pretty good. So we'll just time accelerate to that point there. So we're going to have to decelerate ourselves by 44 meters per second to get our best encounter. So I guess we can do that now. Just decelerating relative to our target, which luckily our navboard has set itself to that automatically. Okay, and now so our closest approach is 0.9. So what we're going to do now, we're going to point towards our target. Okay, so now we've got a separation of 0 kilometers, which is good. So then we're just going to quickly bleed off our additional speed. And then we're just going to coast over. Whoops, that was probably a bit too overzealous. But we can see it down there, over there. So we're pretty close. So at this point, what would be easy to do actually is we just shut down that engine there, just so we don't overcook any burns. It's doing like a victory. Yay! It's found us again. we can just set the docking port as our target. We've not got any monopropellant, unfortunately, because I forgot to pack it. When I do this mission for real, though, I will do it with monopropellant just to make it easier for those of you wanting to recreate it by downloading the craft file. I've not got any dedicated monopropellant tanks, but the actual the command modules on that thing, on the actual mothership, have monopropellant reserves. Or they have space for monopropellant. Burn relative to our target again. Whoops. Gosh darn. Oh, damn it. Let's get ourselves docked. Oof, this is intense. I don't know, that's probably enough, to be honest, if we just point ourselves towards our target now. Just burn down. Just let the magnets do the work. And there we go. Oh, hang on. Beautiful. And that's how you dock without monopropellant. Pretty easy to do. But it's obviously a lot easier to do it with monopropellant. And since we have, so we can just probably shut down all these engines quickly. I mean, what we could even do at this point is we'll get Jebediah back into the mothership. So we have this big space here. That's for the rescued Kerbals to sit in. What we can do now, in fact, we can actually just burn retrograde. Just because we've got such a ridiculously high amount of Delta V left. We'll burn retrograde and then dump our lander now. Then point prograde again. And that means our lander's going to crash into Tylo's surface and not leave any debris in orbit. There we go. Down it goes. Sad face. Okay. Cool. Well, that's kind of the sorry, I was having a stretch. Dask Gaming, I'm noticing you. Might have a quick drink to the Tylo Lander's memory. I might have some delicious Jack Daniels, original, old number 7. I have some Gentleman Jack downstairs, but that's downstairs. Oh. Oh, lovely stuff. Lovely jubbly. Right. Tylo Ren. Here we go. You've just contaminated Tylo with Kerbal AIDS. Nice. Okay. Holy shit, the Gamer Alchemist replied to me, sir. I just want to take the time to throw a challenge at you. Do an Apollo-style grand tour of the solar system. What's an Apollo-style grand tour? Is that just having a separate lander for all the planets? Because I'm pretty sure that's the only way of doing a grand tour. Nothing like daytime drinking. It's 6:30 for me, which is evening. Why am I wearing gloves? It's just been like this running joke that I wear these gloves on a live stream. They were from a loot crate. I just think they're just so ridiculous. They're like Dr. Robotnik gloves. And they're just fingerless. It's like hardcore gamer fingerless gloves. I just think it's funny. Because I'm my crap sense of humour. This has been a really fun mission, though. This has been fun. I've enjoyed this. A lot of my Kerbal missions are filled with swearing, and this is why I don't live stream very often, because people think I just sit there like all happily playing Kerbal, and I was like, most times just, God, I hate this game so much, and then it finally works. I'm just like, KSP is my favourite game. Basically, that's how I play Dark Souls. You just sit there playing Dark Souls, like, I hate this game, it's awful, it's broken, it's stupid, and then you finally beat the boss, and you're like, Dark Souls is my favourite game. I don't know, I mean, I'm now on my 4th playthrough of Dark Souls 3. I still don't know if I like it. I was talking to my friend about this, and he was like, you know, I've played all of them, and I still don't know if I actually like Dark Souls or not. Don't know why we do this to ourselves. Yeah, I know it's not the most efficient way of doing things, but we have enough fuel to probably just... I was thinking about just doing our Tylo escape from... get our incursion encounter from Tylo, but I can't really be bothered, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to start burning now. We'll do our escape burn from dual orbit. So we're just going to get just out of Tylo's sphere of influence. Going to probably try and burn a little bit longer just to... What was I about to say? Oh yeah, just to make sure we don't get another encounter with it. Which is impossible to guarantee because we'll still be, you know, coming from where we left off. But whatever. Oh, that Lucasade made me really gassy. I shouldn't have had all that Lucasade on live stream. Okay, and then we'll just do another burn to get ourselves onto a Kerbin approach. Oh, that's so inefficient. That's ridiculously inefficient. But, you know, we have enough fuel. And like I say, this is just kind of the rehearsal mission, so I'm not really worried about doing like a really, you know, well executed or perfect execution or anything. This is what I typically do for videos. I will do the mission first, like this, like inefficiently and not really thinking too much about the cinematography and things, and then I'll go back and redo it properly. Not always the case. For example, my Lathe and Elu SSTO mission, I did it in one go because I've done Elu SSTO, so I know how to do those anyway, and I know how to do Lathe SSTOs, and I just kind of figured I would have enough Delta V, so like, you know what, we'll just do it, and if it doesn't work, I'll just kill myself. Let's see if we can get a Kerbin encounter. Can we get a Kerbin encounter? If not, we can just get one on the next pass by. We can just do one orbit, do a correction burn so that we get onto an orbit that puts us on an encounter with Kerbin. But if we can get one straight out of duel, that would be pretty nifty. Oh, I don't care that much. We'll do one. We'll just swing around on an orbit and then get our encounter the next time we swing around. So just create a new node there. Oh. Game's frozen. There we go. So we'll have a Kerbin encounter on the second swing, on the second thing. Kill. I guess I could do another story time with Matt live, and you just have to accept that I will be telling this story at some point on a commentary video. But I feel like I've been playing the game in silence now, and I don't really know what to say. Well, let's just commence our... Wow, look at that. Mods make this game so beautiful, don't they? Sorry, I got a bit emotional there. Yeah. I'm trying to think of something to say, actually. But I think one of the stories I like telling is... I don't know if it's even a good story, but it's just something I like telling people, like others, like students. This is the thing I told to a lot of other students who didn't necessarily go to University of Sheffield. But when I was a student, there's this nightclub in Sheffield. For those of you that don't drink, or aren't old enough to or whatever, in nightclubs, particularly in the UK, I'm imagining everywhere else as well, you don't just buy vodka at a club or a pub or anything like that. You don't buy a glass of vodka. You buy like a vodka and lemonade generally. Like I know I just tend to drink straight whiskey because I'm a homeless person. But when you're out, you don't tend to just drink straight whiskey. You tend to get it with like Coke mixed with Coke, or at the very least on the rocks. You you get like a double vodka and lemonade typically. Most places you either get single vodka lemonade, which is just a glass of lemonade with a shot of vodka in it, or you get a double vodka and lemonade, which is two shots of vodka and lemonade. But in Corp, there's this club called Corp in Sheffield, and they don't serve double vodka and lemonade, or single vodka and lemonade, or triple vodka and lemonade for that matter. They only sell what are called quad vods, which is 4 shots of vodka in a pint glass, which would take you up to about, on a pint glass, that's about here, I think. It's a lot of vodka. And the beauty of it was, it only costs about £2.50, which is ridiculous. Anyone that's in the UK and drinks at pubs is now gasping at the thought that is ridiculously cheap for such a high amount of alcohol. And the reasons behind this, I feel like I should give some backstory to the club actually. So Corp it's short for corporation, but it's known collectively as Corp. On Wednesdays there was the school disco night, and if you wore a shirt and tie, you got in for free. So everyone would just wear a white shirt and like a tie, and it was great because it was kind of school disco themed. And the club's an absolute dump. Like, it's just a big black building with Corp written on the side of it, and the inside of it's just really dingy and damp. And there would be this thing on the floor known as Corp juice, which I think was a mixture of drink, urine, and sweat, and probably vomit as well. It was just kind of this black gunge that would form on the floor. We went out with this girl, and she was wearing white tights, and she fell over on the floor, and she stood up, and it was just all black along one leg. Like, it was just disgusting. It's beautiful. It was my favourite club in Sheffield, and just everything about it was awful. Like, it was over 3 floors, but the stairs connecting the 3 floors were kind of corrugated metal. Not corrugated metal, you know, the kind of metal I'm talking about, on like, you get it on like construction sites and playgrounds. Yeah, Matthew the Furry, I noticed you in Discord. It's kind of like the metal with the grippy pattern on it. It's basically the wrong surface to have in a place where everyone's spilling drinks constantly. So everyone just goes up the stairs, kind of grabbing onto the banister, and it's very, very dangerous to go up the stairs in Corp. Hang on, let me just type this in quickly. So yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, just the whole place was just a horrible place to be, but because it was so cheap and everyone just got so smashed, it was fun. It was hilarious. Anyway, so going back to the vodka and the quad vods, the reason why they were so cheap is because if you look behind the bar, I'm assuming most of you have been to bars or have at least seen pictures of bars. You typically see things like, you know, you got your Jack Daniels behind the bar, you got your vodkas, like you got your Smirnoff, you got your Absolutes, you got your various spirits and things behind the bar. Corp doesn't have that. They just have the one kind of spirit that nobody, and I've never seen it anywhere other than in Corp. It's kind of like this weird, I think it's just kind of this weird bottle. It's the only liquor they got. They got about 5 bottles all on the upside down stands, all the same kind of vodka that no one's ever seen outside Corp. And there are all these theories about the origins of this vodka. Some people say that it arrives in bags and they, like, you know, brew it themselves. There's also this myth, this rumor goes around saying they also use it to clean the floors and things like that. I don't know where it comes from, but it's certain. I've certainly never seen it anywhere other than Corp. And to further minimise on the cost, people would often say, "Venture, aerospace and space technology, aeronautics and space technology." I've responded. I've at least noticed you, if that's what you're asking. What was I about to say? Yeah, and like the way it wouldn't be a vodka and lemonade or anything like that either, or vodka and Coke. It would be vodka and a colour. So you'd ask for a blue quad vod, or a red quad vod, or a white quad. That's how it would be. And the mixes, they were obviously not either mixes they made themselves, which I wouldn't put it past them, or like some weird knockoff brand. The closest thing I've managed to figure out that I'm pretty sure the white quad vod is Cloudy Lemonade. That's the only one I've come close to figuring out. The rest, I have absolutely no idea what they could be. But yeah, that's the quad vods. And I did one entrepreneuring student at some point must have realised this, but there are 7 colours of quad vods. You've got your blue quad vod, your green quad vod, your white quad vod, your red quad vod, your yellow quad vod, I think. There's 7 colours, basically. And so at some point, someone came up with a thing called the Rainbow Challenge, which is drinking all 7 colours of Quad VOD in one night. For my mathematically challenged viewers, that would be 28 shots of vodka, which is ridiculous, and I can't. Which is obviously a stupid idea, but you know, at the time, you think, oh yeah, I could do that. So I've tried to do it exactly once before realizing that it was a dumb idea. What we did was we bought you have to buy tickets well in advance for Corp. Otherwise, if you're queuing outside the door, it's like queuing up for like an Apple launch or something. Like you have to wait outside the doors for hours. Like people will often get to Corp like 3 hours before opening, and there'll just be like a crate of beer, and they'll all just sit around on the streets outside Corp just drinking before they get in. Just because it's so hard to get into Corp, especially on like Freshers Week or something. And I've clearly not been watching the screen at all here, especially during like Freshers Week or something. And oh god damn it! Hang on, I do need to concentrate on what I'm doing for a second. Here we go. To be continued on the story. Just gonna make sure now we have a heat shield, so I'm not too worried about our entry speed or anything. Although it would be worth just shutting these down. Oh no, forget it. Actually, we'll just wing it. Let's say how much we got 1,360 units of Delta V. So I mean, when I do this mission for real, I might even do a Minmus landing just to show that we have enough fuel. But at the same time, I also can't be bothered. And I've already done a very inefficient flight to get here as it is. There's no need to make it more inefficient. Just going to go ahead and loop around. There we go. Again, hit backspace to quickly zoom in on your ship. And then we're going to see what our orbit looks like. Maybe there's a quick save here because we're going to be finishing this mission regardless. I'm going to point radial in. I'm watching our periapsis height. So we're going to try and get that to about, I don't know. That's probably a bit too ambitious. Let's go for a periapsis height of, 30,000 would definitely get us captured. We're going to be coming in very, very fast, though, so it might be a bit unsafe. But whatever. I'm not too worried. Because we have quick save. So we better just make a quick save point there. Not a lot else to do other than just to ride out. So we'll just deploy the chutes now. Because they won't deploy until it's safe to do so. And then we'll just quickly... So I've turned off SAS just to save on electric charge. I probably should have dropped the engine stage right before we entered Kerbin's atmosphere, just so we had more electric charge. I mean, to be fair, we've only lost 4 units. It's not a great loss, but whatever. So now we're into the atmosphere. It's going to get hot real quick, so we're going to just point ourselves retrograde. In fact, we've actually got a little bit too much ablator on this shield. So now we can find out what needs fine-tuning on this thing. So we're not getting any temperature gauges appearing on the parachutes. They're definitely not protruding too much to the point that it would they would blow up. And actually, this is going pretty well. Our G's aren't going too high either, which is nice. That will start to increase very rapidly as we sink lower into that. As you can see up here, we're still in the very thin parts of the atmosphere, which is a real telltale sign of how fast we're going. If we're getting this much sort of, plasma and re-entry effects this high up in the atmosphere. I'd say 30 kilometers when the atmosphere really turns to the thick part. So that'll be the make or break point for whether or not our ablative shield can withstand the aerodynamic drag. But I know, that being said, I did get quite an inefficient encounter with Kerbin. Like, I was kind of doing that thing that I said in a commentary, I can't remember which one, but I said don't try and cross the planet's orbit. You want to be going kind of as if you're sort of kissing it, if that makes sense. It's hard to do that without some sort of visual aid. But no, that's pretty good. we're still not captured within Kerbin's sphere of influence, which again is just goes to show how fast we were going to begin with. And we're actually ascending now, which is not a good sign. But hopefully we should capture... We've not got that much more speed to bleed off before we're captured into Kerbin's sphere of influence. No, I was going to say, if we could start throwing ourselves to be slightly off-center, but we really don't. We won't be able to withstand the heating. Damn. Genuinely didn't expect that. I genuinely thought we would be fine. I'll have to reload that quick save. I might have another bit of whiskey. This time I'm going to be drinking the Jack Daniels and honey, which I think is slightly weaker than normal Jack. But it tastes very nice. It's only nice in small bursts though. Okay, so let's see. Periapsis. We'll just drop that to be... Oh, hang on. Radial in, we want to burn. We'll just drop that to be... Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get it to 25. Quick save there. And we'll just hold on to our engines a bit longer. So we have 1,342 meters per second remaining, which is a huge amount, really. Like I say, we easily have enough to do a minimus landing. If I'd planned this mission accordingly. As it stands, on our current trajectory and current status, we can't do a minimus landing. But if I wanted to, I would have done, like, maybe... Like, I wouldn't be entering Kerbin at this point. I would be doing, like, a swing by of Kerbin in order to lower our sun periapsis. And, swing by again. Oh, God. Damn. It's alright, we'll just... I mean, we could probably just let that explode, to be honest. It's all fine. Everything's fine. It's probably not going to be fine. But whatever. I'm an optimistic person. Oh no. The stream crashed for me again. We're going to take a quick 30-second break. Just because the stream might crash. The stream might die for some people. Taking quick 30-second intermission to let the problems iron out. BRB. We'll just quickly play an ad. And I'll just put the intermission screen on. But I'll be back. So everything on my screen now looks like it's reset. Let me see. Go quickly. We haven't lost that many viewers. Just quickly making some messages in the chat because I know I'm 30 seconds in the future for all you guys. What you guys call the present, I call the past. So you know, you guys are way behind. Wait, no, that's the wrong way around. Okay, I'm seeing on the live stream that you guys are all now caught up. So I'm not. Well, I mean, I was gonna carry on anyway because it would catch up eventually. But I think that was the problem sorted out. My very intermittent internet connection fails me again. But the reason I don't stream very often is because my internet's generally quite bad. This weekend, my housemates are all kind of not in or like away, so I thought I'd be able to get away with streaming. But that's why I generally don't stream, or at least I don't have a sort of fixed streaming schedule, because I really can't have one with my internet. So let's see. So the stock vision enhancements, forgot the name of the mod for a second. Glitching out a little bit there, but there we go. We may as well just bleed off some of our additional speed using the remaining fuel from our engines. It's not going to make a meaningful difference, but I mean, it'll make somewhat of a difference. And in fact, we've actually lowered our power assist to quite a dangerously low level, actually. I'm not sure if we may have taken this too far. So I'm quickly going to point to the side to detach our engines, just so that way it doesn't smash into us and we can get a beautiful view. And this is very worrying. Yeah, I did think, we're looking at it like, you know what, that was very risky. Like the 20,000 is definitely pushing it a little bit. The distant future, the year 2000. Love Flight of the Conchords so much. I need to rewatch it. I mean, it's got it on like, I had it on DVD when I was very young. Well, whenever it came out, we bought it on DVD. I've since lost the DVDs. Well, as in, I know where they are, but they're in the attic, so I just pirated them because I like having digital copies of things. And I feel like piracy is acceptable if you own the physical thing. That's generally what I do, to be honest. I own the Blu-ray for... I own a lot of Blu-rays, to be honest. I've got pirated versions of nearly all those Blu-rays, though, because it's just so much easier having it on a hard drive. And the Blu-ray program I use for ripping Blu-rays doesn't work anymore, or it's something to do with the anti-piracy measures they put on Blu-rays. It doesn't work anymore. So I still have Blu-rays because I've got a PS3 which can play Blu-ray. So that's like the Blu-ray player. But sometimes when I just want to watch a film on my computer, I just watch the pirated version. Because again, I feel like piracy is okay if you own the physical medium. That's just my opinion. And obviously if it's a Nintendo game, because screw Nintendo. For further information, see Jim Sterling's video about why it's morally acceptable to pirate all Nintendo games. Wow, okay, so we are really not in a good position right now, because I'm not able to re-enter at a safe speed, but I can't re-enter to the point where I can aero capture. Which I was worried about, to be honest, because I knew the ablative shield is pretty good for when it's just attached to that command pod, but now we've got quite a long payload. I was worried that it wouldn't be enough. I fear that my worries may be being realised. How many? It's going to be about 3,000, I would imagine, to capture. Oh! 1,304 to capture. Oh my gosh, we actually have enough to fully capture with the nuclear engines, which is fantastic news, guys. No, we don't. We don't anymore. Damn it. I burned too much. Icarus hath flown too close to the sun. Yeah, minimum 02. I'm in a difficult situation. This pretty much mirrors how I feel about Nintendo, and I wanted to do a video about Nintendo for some time, but the actual focus of my channel doesn't really lend itself to talking about Nintendo. But for a long time, I've wanted to do a video about Nintendo because I have a very love-hate relationship with them. As a company, I despise Nintendo. I think they're extremely archaic and backward in the way they approach things. And they're just the way they treat YouTube content creators. Like they should treat them with respect because it's free advertisements. Like, do you know how many games I have in my Gmail right now? I have about 50 games, as in like developers send me copies of their games to cover on my channel because they understand the value. I mean, granted, they don't have the same marketing budget that Nintendo have, or indeed, you know, the brand recognition of Nintendo, but they understand that being featured on a YouTube channel it's free exposure. And Nintendo just try and capitalize on that, and they like screw over creators if they don't meet with their terms and conditions. For those that don't know, like I don't pay Squad anything to or Take-Two Interactive, I guess. Team KSP, they don't make any. Oh God, they don't make any money from my channel. I make videos about Kerbal Space Program, but I don't need to pay royalties or anything to Take-Two Interactive, even though what I'm doing is technically. It's a very grey area. Like, does it fall under fair use? No one really. It's a very, like I said, it's a grey area. But generally, companies will accept it because they appreciate that it's fair use. And a lot of indie games, especially when you go on their websites, they have dedicated sections saying, if you're a YouTuber, please do make videos on our game, because they understand it's free marketing and it's good for the game. I know I get a lot of comments from people on my videos saying, you know, you introduced me to this game. You know, it's a really good game. Thank you for introducing to me, and I really enjoy blah blah blah. And they understand, but Nintendo just doesn't get it, and they just try and screw over content creators and be like, you know, if you want to make a video with our game, you need to pay us royalties. They got the Nintendo Creator Program, and if you make a video about a Nintendo game, you have to pay a certain amount of your ad revenue to Nintendo. Now, as it stands, most of my revenue goes to YouTube. I'm just gonna quickly come out of, and I'm definitely treading on eggshells here because I'm not really allowed to talk about my ad revenue, but how I earn it or how much I make or anything is part of the NDA. Although I don't really care. What was I about to say? Yeah, I think it's like, is the ratio 60-40? Like 60% of your earnings go to YouTube and you keep 40%. And granted, you know, Google do deserve it. YouTube, for those that don't know, is just a giant charity that Google runs. It's impossible for YouTube to ever turn a profit, really, because storage is so expensive. Like, how many hours a day is uploaded to YouTube? Something ridiculous, like 1 billion hours of footage is uploaded every day or something ridiculous. It's probably not quite that much, but it's something insanely large like that. In fact, we can, and you know, you guys probably own PCs. This being a PC gaming channel, I assume most of you own PCs, so you know how expensive hard drives are. So you can imagine how expensive it would be for Google to run YouTube every day. So yeah, like I say, YouTube is like a giant charity that Google runs. So I understand why they need so much money, because even with all the money they do take, it's nowhere near enough to actually pay for YouTube. Google just knows how powerful. Oh my God. Oh no. Okay, never mind. This is it. This is the end of the mission. I mean, to be fair, the Kerbals inside the Blunderbird module have died now, so we should probably should recover it to make sure they can survive. Hang on. I do need to reply to this message. This is quite important. Sorry, it's my landlady. Okay, sorry. Yes. That was the end of that process, actually. Wow, there is a massive delay in the live stream. Is that just when that thing exploded? Okay, so I think the lag in the stream is getting worse and worse and worse as we get into the evening, when I think people are using the internet more. So after this, I might have to stop the stream. But it's been fun. I've had fun. I hope you guys have had fun watching this, or as much fun as you can have watching me. Oh, slopping water. So now we can have another drink break. We've had the Jack Daniel's honey and the Jack Daniel's original. We have the Jack Daniel's cinnamon. which is the worst drink ever invented by humans. I don't know why. I was just curious. I mean, that's not whiskey. That just tastes... I don't know. I'm just not really a fan of cinnamon, which is probably not the best thing to not be a fan of if you're drinking Jack Daniel's Fire. But if anyone is in the UK and is of legal age to drink, then one of the nicest things you can have is in Wetherspoons. They serve this drink that is no longer made or even sold, at least in the UK. I'm assuming they might sell it elsewhere because Wetherspoons still have a massive supply of it. But it's the Firebomb and Whiskey. Not Firebomb and Whiskey. Firebomb and Coke. Firebomb Whiskey and Coke. And to my knowledge, I think Firebomb, it's either banned or not sold or gone bankrupt, or they just choose to not sell in the UK anymore. But you can still buy it in Wetherspoons. And if you want a drink that doesn't taste of alcohol... Where's Kerbin? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it doesn't taste of alcohol. And it just tastes like a cinnamon-flavoured Coke. So it's quite dangerous, really, in terms of people over-drinking. But it's really nice. And now it's become almost my go-to drink at Wetherspoons. I mean, I still tend to get vodka lemonade if I'm going out. I don't go clubbing anymore, really, to be honest, though. I'm too old. But when I go to nightclubs and things, I generally still drink... When I go to a pub, I drink lagers or ales, depending on the pub. If it's got good ales, I'll drink ale. But generally, standard pubs, they just have terrible ales. So I'll drink lager. Because lager is like a reliable thing. God, what was I about to say? Yeah, but when I go to nightclubs where the beers are always disgusting in nightclubs, I'll drink vodka lemonade because it's just the most tolerable spirit. Because they always have crap lemonade and crap vodka. So vodka lemonade is just the easiest thing to have in clubs without, taking any risks. But yeah, I feel like most of your children's, this is not an appropriate topic. Oh. Yeah, my girlfriend takes the mickey at me, saying, all your fans like 5 years old and things, and she's probably right. But I like to think that most people in the KSP gaming community are more mature than most people in the gaming community, and like my Discord has been described as cancer, but I think I think people in my Discord are generally quite civil, and they come across as quite mature. Sorry, I just thought I heard something at the door for a second. Yeah, they come across quite mature, and I've had some nice conversations with people. So yeah, like I say, in the YouTube description is a link to my Discord, and there is a chat still going on. Genderless Name just says, I think KSP is dying, and I think he might be right. It's been quite hard. I've always accepted that YouTube is a temporary endeavor for me, and it's not a long-term thing, and I shouldn't get used to it. But it does suck, because like my channel views have plummeted over the past few months. There was a point where I was getting over 100,000 views per video, and now I'm barely scraping 20,000 for each upload. I know, like only 20,000, but like, for me that would always have been a very, very bad number, and that seems to be the current status quo, is just very low views. And Marcus House and Mark Thrim have noticed the same drop, and just through me looking at other channels, it seems to be the same thing for everyone else. I think the PewDiePie drama and the general adpocalypse was a massive catalyst for this. But I think in general, YouTube just wants to kill off gaming channels. Look at the success of the Paul brothers, who I think, like, they're very smart people. Same with PewDiePie, really. Like, I don't like his content, but I appreciate that he knows exactly what he's doing. And the Paul brothers as well. Like, they know exactly what they're doing, and you got to give respect to them. Like, what they're doing is, it's amazing what they're doing, and to do what they do, people say, oh, I could easily just make videos about your life, but as someone, I always felt the same way. But after doing YouTube, I do have a newfound appreciation of these people like Markiplier and things who make. But Markiplier makes 2 videos a day, and I appreciate, like, for me, making 2 videos a day. I mean, Kerbal Space Program is different because it's a very difficult game to just churn out content for. And I've always prided myself on making, air quotes, difficult missions, which is it's just not possible to do with my work schedule. I mean, to be fair, if I did YouTube full time like Markiplier does, I could definitely churn out. Oh my God, hang on. Well, rest in peace, rescued Kerbals. But luckily there was no one in that module. Recovered the mission. And that's it. That's the mission done. Sticky man. Quit YouTube, you boring fuck. Well. No. Oh god, did the internet die? Is the stream back, everyone? Can you guys hear me? For me, like on my... I've had a desktop notification every time the internet went down. But it's alright for now, I think. Matt, if you want more views, play mainstream games. I know I should, but like... That was kind of the idea of Off the Hook, that I'll play more mainstream games, but those videos never really did that well. And to be honest, I don't like mainstream games. I'm just... I guess I'm a hipster. AAA games, they just don't excite me anymore. Like, I've been playing Sonic Mania recently. Unfortunately, that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth after, like the cinnamon whiskey, after the whole DRM issue. But you know what, I just would rather play the game. But I left a negative review on Steam in the hope that an overwhelmingly negative score would let Sega know that DRM is not... DRM doesn't work. It's never worked. And it annoys me that these companies still want to put in these, you know, draconian levels of security, and it just doesn't work. So, but Sonic Mania is fun, and Planet Coaster. Like for me, my favorite games of last year were Planet Coaster, and this year is Sonic Mania, which are not mainstream games at all. I mean, Sonic Mania, I guess, might be a little bit, but Planet Coaster certainly isn't. But those are the games I like. So I don't know. Maybe I might make a Divinity Original Sin series. I've not got it, but two of my friends have got it. Two of my friends have got it, and they're quite keen for me to get it as well. So maybe I'll get it and make a series on it. But don't know. I just really like Kerbal Space. One of the few games I've played where no matter how many hours I put into it, like I've got almost 1,000 hours now in Kerbal Space Program, which is a lot for me by far, and I'm still not burned out on it at all. And I just can't really see myself getting into another game as much as Kerbal Space Program. So I don't know. I don't know what the future of my channel will be, but I don't intend to die anytime soon. So I mean, like I say, I never really did YouTube for views or money. Like for the most of my videos aren't monetized. They use like my old style videos with the music videos, and those used copyrighted music. So you know, I can't make money off of those. And even my more recent ones, whilst I make a little bit of money. It's not a huge amount. Like compared to my day job, it's pennies. So yeah, I never really did YouTube for the views. So I mean, the fact that my YouTube views are tanking, okay, it sucks and it's kind of a bit demoralizing. But at the end of the day, I would still make YouTube videos because I enjoy it. And I still enjoy the interactions with you guys and things like this stream. I wish I could do more streams like this. Unfortunately, my internet just does not permit it. I am looking at getting my own place. When I do get my own place eventually, I will stream a lot more. But I don't know. But people are saying that my internet keeps cutting out. Well, the stream keeps cutting out and the quality keeps dropping. So I think we've been going for what, 3.5 hours? I think we've done pretty well. I think we've done well. I'm going to turn the game off there. I think we've done pretty well. Going forward, I think we've done well. It's gone on long enough. It's now 7:05 for me, so I've got work in the morning, so I need to start winding down. I can't use my computer too late in the evening because I just don't sleep otherwise. But no, thank you everyone for tuning in. Can I see the super chats? Where's the super chat history? I don't think I can see the super chats, unfortunately. Oh no, I can. So yeah, super chats. John Hawley, thank you very much for these 7 $7. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Corbin Demand, $2. Again, it's not about the value. It's just I appreciate it. Miles Harrison for the £10. Again, thank you very much. Mr. Moocow 2012. Everyone go check out Mr. Moocow 2012's channel. If you just type that in on YouTube, I'm sure that will work. His logo is the Minecraft cow face. Thank you very much for the... Oh my god, it's your birthday today. I don't even remember that. Well, happy birthday, Mr. Moocow 2012. I'm going to send you a Discord message right now. Just in case you're not... Just in case you're not still watching. Happy birthday. Accidentally hit hashtag. Hit hash key at the same time, press enter. The Jacob Shapiro, $2 US. Thank you very much for that. You John Hawley again. So not $7, $9 US dollars. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Janik Rubichung. CHF 2. I don't know what CHF is, but thank you. That could be like £200 for all I know, but thank you very much. Regardless of how high or low it is. The Norway NOK 100. Again, thank you very much. Hasn't gone unnoticed. Oh, I've just seen Mr. Moocow 2012 has messaged me back on Discord. Thank you for your microphone. Let's see what else there is. Chief NX97, thank you very much for the $10. A dollar. So is that Australian dollars? I feel like that's AUD, but I don't really know how YouTube. Either way, no matter how irrelevant of the value, thank you very much for that. Wandering Dreamer, thank you very much for the $10. And of course, General Echo paying me £5, even though you do a wonderful job moderating these streams, and of course my Discord as well. So thank you very much. And yeah, I kind of like this opportunity just to interact with people in the stream. So what have we got here? Join the Discord voice channel. I probably should, shouldn't I? Nice Lego Ferrari, someone pointed out. Thank you. I'm a huge fan. I've actually cleared this shelf. You can't really see it, but because I put the Jack Daniels there now. But I'm planning on putting the. I hope my girlfriend's not watching this stream. She was earlier because she sent me a text saying, "Why didn't you notice my comment?" But I'm hoping she's not watching now. But I've bought a Lego Millennium Falcon for far too much money. I'm going to put it there. That's what I've cleared this shelf for. She has forbidden me from buying it. So I'm hoping she's not watching it. But, Kirsty, if you're watching, I'm not sorry. So here we go. So this is the Millennium Falcon. The Ferrari, it's beautiful. We've got a nice little boot here. You can open the doors up. I love this set so much. I'm such a fucking nerd. And open up the boot. And you can actually take the engine out. I'm probably going to break it because I'm trying to do this. I know I say, I'm probably going to break this because I'm trying to do it one-handed for the camera. And I totally just did it anyway. Luckily, it's all in one piece. 3 pieces. But I can put it back together easily. But you can, take off the back part. And you can, take the engine out. Look at that. And it's I love the detail on it. Let's just move this off to the side for a second. But, yeah, you can see, the engine. It's, properly detailed. I love it so much. And it's coming up to the end of its production run, so if you want to buy it, I would recommend this set wholeheartedly. I was very on the fence about buying it because I don't know. I just thought it looked a bit. I don't know. I felt like the look. I was trying to think of the right. Oh god damn it! I was trying to think of the right phrasing. Not the general. I guess the general aesthetics. I thought it looked a bit too blocky, which I know is a ridiculous thing to say about Lego. But you know what I mean? I wasn't quite sure about the actual aesthetics of it. I was like, wait, no, this is £70. It's a lot to drop, and if I'm not 100% satisfied with the way it looks, I'm not quite sure. But when I saw it in, hang on. When I saw her face, when I saw it, I was like, you know what? I'm sold. I'd love to. It's next to on that shelf, so I'll be lying in bed and just looking at it. I'm just like, it just looks so nice. It's so good looking. A tiny piece fell on the floor mat. Yeah, that wasn't me. Luckily, that was well, I mean, it was me, but it wasn't a disastrous thing. It's a piece that's not attached to the Lego set. It's meant to be detachable. It just kind of rests there. So let's just put this back together. So when I get the Millennium Falcon, it is the largest Lego set ever created, which is I think before this it was the Taj Mahal set was the biggest, but this one now replaced it as the biggest Lego set ever. And my phone hasn't gone off yet, so I don't think my girlfriend has seen me talking about Lego. No. One of my Patreons has sent me an email. Nathan, if you're watching this, I will get back to you soon. Oh God, how did this go? So, welcome everyone just joining. This is the Lego building live stream. What is this from? Is this from the car itself? We're committing to this now. Just gonna angle that down. Oh, there we go. Right, let's see if we can. Let's bash this out, guys. Okay. So this went on like this. So this went on like there. I'm so sorry, everyone who's donated on Patreon for more KSP content. Okay, so that went on like that, which is fine. Oh, look, there's a piece missing here. So where did that fall on the floor? Yes, it did. So this went like that. How'd that go on like that? Okay, so just like this. Cool. And then that went on. I feel like it would have gone like that, but how did it? Oh, I see what I've done. I've put this on backwards. Maybe. Yeah, I have. And that would go on like this. Yes. Okay. And then this goes on. How does this attach? Lego with mat. Oh, I see how it goes on. It goes on like this. Okay. Oh, I see. That's the thing from earlier. So where's that goes? Okay, so this goes on like this. Nope, it doesn't. It goes on like this. Let me just see. So it goes on. No, how does it go on? So it's this piece here, right? It's this piece. Oh, trying to get it show to the camera. It's that piece there, isn't it? So it goes on. I saw the people watching thing. It's like gosh darn dingle darn. Oh, I think I'd put this on too soon. So I need to go on above this thing, right? So we need to just take this bit off. Oh, I see how it goes. So it goes on like this, and then we're like, do you see this bit? You just fold that bit down, and it clips on. This is what I mean about this being like a really fun. It's just fun to build. Like it's just really intuitive the way things clip on. Like this is like a hinged part, but the way it, like those structural pieces correct. I don't know how good the view is from you guys, but let's see. Now I've forgotten how it goes on. Oh God, I forgot about it. Where did this? Oh, where did this bit come from? Okay, I see where it went from. I see where it came from. I think. Oh God, damn it! It went here, right? It went here. Oh yeah, definitely went here. Definitely went here. Okay, cool. So we got that bit on, and then we just clip this. Try not to break the rest of the Ferrari. Get this bit on here. Get that bit. Oh, hang on. Why is that at an angle? Okay, that's fine. So then that bit goes on there. Maybe. um. Yeah, like that. Why isn't that clipping on? What have I done wrong? Oh, I see. Or do I? I mean, it looks fairly symmetrical from this side. But that's... Oh... Do you know what? I'm going to end the live stream here because this is clearly... I don't think... Are you guys enjoying this? Are you guys enjoying this? Please let me know in the chat if you guys are... Oh my gosh, I gotta try and find that piece now. Okay, it's here. It's here. It's here. Where is OBS? Okay, I'm gonna move that to the side. Gotta turn the gain up a little bit so you guys can still hear me, maybe. Oh my gosh. Oh, I see what I've done wrong. I've put this on too far. That should be there. That looks fairly symmetrical, and then this bit will go here. And then what's this? What even is this? Where would that go? There? It's that bit there, right? So that goes next to the thing. No, damn it. Damn it. There. And then we'll clip it on back onto the underside. Go on, mate. I don't want to force anything because it will just explode like that. Oh! I think... You know what? I can't. It's very stressful trying to have this orientated in a way that the stream can appreciate it. So I'm going to stop this here. Hello everyone. Welcome to this KSP live stream. I'm going to stop this here. I might consider making this sort of publicly available. This sort of live stream, I'll publish it as a video. But I'll see. I'll have to just review the footage, make sure everything's okay. But thank you for watching, everyone. And again, I've already gone through the super chats. Just make sure no one else has donated. No. So thank you, everyone, for the super chats and the donations, and just generally just sort of being here and just supporting this channel. And of course, the Discord chat as well, who I'm sure is here. I better say hello to everyone in the Discord. Hello, everyone.
Matt.
Hey, Matt.
How's everyone doing?
Hello.
Well, I was just. You guys are like 30 seconds behind on the stream, so you wouldn't have heard this. But I was saying my general goodbyes. So this is me saying thanking everyone in the Discord for hanging around.
Okay. Hey, Matt, real quick, you should make a drunk Lego channel because that was entertaining.
A what? A what channel?
A drunk Lego.
Oh,
Just
we
drawing
had a
models.
deep thought.
Now everyone is joining.
No.
Oh my god, you're still
They
like.
ruined the small group.
There's so many people.
Of course it goes insane the second Matt joins.
Yeah.
If Elon Musk...
Right, alright, I'm gonna stop you guys here. This is not good content for the live stream. I'll happily stick around for a bit, but I'm gonna have to end the live stream here. I'm disconnecting for a second, but I'll be back. Okay, that was the Discord, everyone. That's why they weren't in the live stream earlier. But yeah, like I say, thanks for watching, and you know, I'll probably play an ad now. But if you want to watch the ad, that would help me out. But yeah, thanks for watching and being great. I am grateful. I know sometimes when I read back these super chats and thank them and things, it sounds really sarcastic, but I do mean it. I do really enjoy interacting with you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around, and Pilot cautiously. The legally distinct version of fly safe.